This is a higgidy feast. There's plenty of this, and these as well. We top it like this, and bake it like that. Higgidy, baked generously. This is a higgity feast. There's plenty of this, and these as well. We top it like this, and bake it like that. Higgity. Baked generously.
Welcome to Hove for the latest instalment of T20 Cricket. I'm Adrian Harms and delighted to be joined by Mark Church from BBC Radio London. Churchy, lovely to see you.
Thank you, Mr. Harms. Absolute joy to be here tonight. This is the perfect night for a bit of T20, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it is a glorious evening, barely a cloud in the sky, and the game is a sellout. As I arrive, it's lovely to get to a cricket ground and you see a sign that says sold out. And I thought how lovely that was to see, and we can hear the strains of good old Sussex by the sea.
Oh, there it is.
In the background. So people are making their way into the ground. There's quite a few empty seats at the moment, but people were flocking through the gates a few moments ago when Churchy and I popped outside for a little while. The floodlights are on. We don't need them at the minute, but we will need them a little later on. The two sides with very contrasting fortunes so far in the competition. Sussex with his 2 wins out of their 7 games, but that included a very good win at Lord's last night against against Middlesex. Surrey, by direct contrast, 5 wins out of 7, going along very nicely. So let's start with we'll tell you the toss first, because Sussex won the toss and they are going to bowl. But visitors first, tell us about the Surrey side.
Yeah, Surrey make one change from the side that beat Glamorgan by 72 runs a couple of nights ago. So Tom Laws comes in for Gus Atkinson, and all I can think there is that Gus Atkinson's having a bit of a rest. So it'll be Will Jacks, Laurie Evans, Sam Curran, Jamie Smith, Tom Curran, Sean Abbott, Chris Jordan, Cameron Steele, Jamie Overton, Sunil Narayan and Tom Laws. That batting order might change. Surrey against Glamorgan put both parts of their game together. They were excellent with the bat. They were controlled with the bat. That was the key thing. And a brilliant 100 from Laurie Evans, 118 not out from him. And then with the sort of variety of attack that they have, Chris Jordan can call on Narayan, Sam Curran tonight, Tom Laws himself, of course. He's got such a variety of bowlers to work with. So I think Surrey will come here tonight wary, because of course one of the 2 games they've lost this season was against Sussex at the start of the competition, where Sussex did a great job on Surrey that night, and Tom Alsop batted brilliantly to get them over the line alongside Michael Burgess. So I think Surrey will be wary of Sussex this evening. But again, if Surrey sort of put their game together like they did against Glamorgan, then it could be a tough night for Sussex.
Yeah, indeed. As far as Sussex are concerned, they are unchanged from the side that won at Middlesex last night. A real cliffhanger of a game with Tamal Wells bowling a dot ball to Steve Escanardi off the last ball. So Sussex winning by 5 wickets last night. Now, the game at the Oval, Ali Orr was playing for Sussex in that game, but he injured his knee. Do you remember, Churchy, trying to take a catch? And the shame of it is that Ali Orr is now out for several weeks, a nasty ligament injury. So he is out of the side. But the Sussex side, they say, the same that won last night up at headquarters, not about by 5 wickets, by 4 runs. So the Sussex side, Tom Clark, Michael Burgess, Tom Alsop, Ravi Bopara, Shadab Khan, who batted beautifully yesterday, James Coles, who took a magnificent catch, you probably saw that, Churchy, yes. Dan Ibrahim, Finn Hudson-Prentice, Henry Crocombe, Nathan McAndrew and Tamal Mills. It could well be that Nathan McAndrew will bat up the order, we shall see, but the Sussex Sharks, get my words out, the Sussex Sharks are on their way, led out by Ravi Bopara. And I think you summed it up very nicely. I think it's a very, very strong Surrey side, but they will be a little wary. Sussex having won at the Oval just a few weeks ago. These games all morph into one. It's been the schedule has been utter chaos, hasn't it? I mean, you hardly know what day of the week it is this week. There's been that much cricket. It's ridiculous, to be honest with you. This is Sussex's 4th game in 6 days.
Yeah, and you're expecting your players to be at their very best, and it's nigh on impossible for that to happen. And then, of course, we've got a championship game starting on Sunday, so that'll be fun for everybody. Let's have some 4-day cricket thrown into the middle of the T20.
And you go to another neighbouring county?
Canterbury, to play Kent starting on Sunday. But yes, I think it's frankly ridiculous that Middlesex and Sussex played last night at Lords, and then Sussex has got to come back today and play this evening, and 4 games in 6 days, and you're expecting your players to be at their very best. It's just not going to happen. So again, the schedule is complete and utter madness this season, and I think sometimes, however they put the schedule together, they completely forget what the key thing to their product is, and that's the players. That is the key thing, the players.
And the crowd want to see the best players, but they want to see the best players performing at the height of their powers. So we'll see how they get on tonight. But it's Nathan McAndrew who's going to open the bowling. Full house. The ground rapidly filling up, which is great. Lovely to see Hove, lovely and full. And we saw Rob Andrew, the chief exec for Sussex, before the game, and what a difference it makes to have a sunny T20. So far it's been blessed with good weather. And let's hope it carries on. We have a little break, as Church was saying. We've got a championship match, Sussex here against Worcester, a game that starts on Sunday. Then we're back into more T20, and then I think we get another championship game, and then a bit more T20, and then we all collapse in a heap.
Yes, there we are.
Anyway, Nathan McAndrew is going to open the bowling from the C end of the ground. There's a slip in place. He's coming into bowl to Will Jacks. He's in and bowls, and Jacks drives through the offside, and that's a boundary off the very first ball of the innings. And that was rather effortless by Will Jacks, overpitched by McAndrew. And 4 runs. Yeah,
it's what you want if you're Will Jacks, a long half volley to get started. And he has put that away through extra cover. But exactly what Will Jacks would have been looking for. Just a long half volley. And Will Jacks has jumped all over that. And it fairly sped off to the boundary rope. So
4 men saving one on the offside. There's a sweeper on the cover boundary, a slip in place as in comes McAndrew, bowls to Jacks, who just nudges that onto the onside. Fielded coming round by Shadab Khan, who throws at the stumps. I don't really think he thought Will Jacks wasn't home, but he was home by a long chalk, and Ravi Bopara was backing up anyway, but a single to Nathan McAndrew. I spoke to Shadab Khan last night, first time I've spoke to him, very nice man. He's had a bit of a difficult time because the first game down here, he collided with Nathan McAndrew.
Yeah, he was saying.
Who's a big fella, and he missed the next game with a sort of concussion protocols. McAndrew missed the next 3.
Did he? Well, he missed the Surrey game.
He did. Yes, he did. In comes McAndrew up the hill, bowls and driven nicely by Laurie Evans, and a very good bit of fielding by Ravi Bopara, very quickly round from mid-off to field, and there is no run. Laurie Evans, who was part of the Sussex side that reached finals day on 2018 up at Edgbaston, that was a side and a half. Luke Wright, Laurie Evans, Phil Salt, Danny Briggs, Joffer Archer, Chris Jordan, David Visa.
Proper team, that. Proper team.
But they couldn't get over the line. They didn't win it. Got beaten by Worcestershire. In the final, in comes McAndrew. Bowls down the way. Hits a pad of Laurie Evans and bounces away onto the leg side.
Be very interesting.
Total 6 without loss.
Interested to see how Evans and Jacks go about this, because they were terrific against Glamorgan. Put on 115 for the first wicket, but it was very controlled how they went about it. And of course, Laurie Evans is in super form now. 118 not out, 52 in the previous game against Kent. So he's in nick. And that's the thing with Laurie Evans. And he is a lovely player to watch when he's going, Laurie Evans. And I'm sure he would love to score some runs back here at Hove as well, because of course, as you were saying, was part of a successful T20 side for Sussex, alongside the Surrey captain Chris Jordan, of course.
Indeed, yeah. In comes McAndrew, bowls, and Jacks plays that firmly to mid-wicket, fielded there by Tom Alsop, who had been put there exactly for that delivery. He had been fielding at slip, Tom Alsop, but he'd been brought out to field at mid-wicket, and there is no run. So there are 3 men saving one on the leg side. There are 4 on the off, and the 2 fielders you're allowed out of the 30-yard circle at this stage of proceedings. There's a deep mid-wicket underneath the clock tower scoreboard, and a sweeper on the cover boundary. So McAndrew waits at the end of his run. He's bowling up the slope from the C end of the ground. He's in and bowls. Oh, he bowls him, and McAndrew gets the breakthrough. And Will Jacks has gone for 5. Well, that was a bit of a surprise. Maybe nipped back a little bit from Nathan McAndrew. Jacks has gone, and a big breakthrough for Sussex, because Will Jacks has been in good form in the competition. McAndrew's done his bit, and Surrey are a wicket down in the first over. Surrey 6 for 1, and Jacks gone for 5.
It looks a good one from here. Looks like it did, as you say, just nip back between bat and pad. He was looking to drive it, was Will Jacks. And it's hit the top of his off stump, so it's a good bit of bowling from McAndrew. It really is. You couldn't get 2 more polar opposite deliveries in the first one and the last one of the over. Long half volley to start the over, and then an absolute perler to finish the over. So Jacks goes for 5, and that brings Sam Curran out to the middle. Batting at number 3 is Sam Curran. He looked in smashing nick up at Glamorgan, Cardiff. Wednesday night that was, with Coldplay playing across the road.
Oh, well, were they playing at the Millennium Stadium?
Oh,
Or Principality, it's called.
It's
now.
Principality now, yes.
Right,
yes.
okay.
So it was Surrey versus Glamorgan and 85,000 Coldplay fans.
Could you hear it from the cricket ground?
When I got in the car park in the Bowls Club, I did hear Paradise.
Did you?
Yes, I did. And that wasn't because I was trying to get out there before Coldplay that it was Paradise. So it's going to be Finn Hudson Prentice to get us started from the Cromwell Road end, and this one's just tucked away off his pads by Laurie Evans out there towards deep backward square, and they will pick up a single.
I know that Bowls Club is Churches, right by the River Taff, isn't it?
Yes.
Right in the middle of Bute Park, which is a lovely part of it. I mean, I have to say I like Cardiff. It's down by Bute Park and the river there, and where the cricket ground is lovely.
Yeah, it is, unless Coldplay are playing,
yes.
and there's 85,000 people going in the opposite
So
direction.
hopefully you got there. Well, you were always early.
Yes, I was there very early. The night before, I picked my daughter up, who lives in Cardiff, and she decided she wanted to go into town.
Oh.
So that was fun, and I think it took us about 4 hours to get in and get back. back to go for a burger in town with 85,000 co-plays.
How many nights have they played on there? A couple?
Yeah, a couple of nights. Yeah,
Wow.
so, yeah, look, I'm sure they were terrific.
Yep.
As waiting over his bat there is the left-handed Sam Curran. Hudson Prentice round the wicket to him, and his first delivery, he's in behind this and plays it back up the pitch, and there's no run. And I will say again, Hudson Prentice is doing an extremely passable impression of David Visa from here, isn't he? With the ponytail.
Yes.
Down there in the distance, Mr. Visa, of course, now plying his trade for Yorkshire.
And really well as well.
What, he's a good player.
Scoring runs, taking wickets.
He's really sort of had almost a second coming. He's playing franchise cricket now as well, isn't he? Round the wicket then is Hudson Prentice to Sam Curran. That's down the leg side. Wide will be the signal, and it's taken by Michael Burgess, moving away to his right-hand side.
Sussex will be very keen to avoid their performance against Glamorgan on Sunday when they bowled 9 wides and 4 no balls. So, 13 extra deliveries doesn't help in a game of T20, so I'll be very keen for that not to happen. I like Sam Curran's boots, Churchy.
Oh, here we go.
Bright orange.
Yes. As round the wicket once again comes Hudson Prentice, and here's a good shot from Sam Curran. Just uses his feet. Hudson Prentice saw him coming, pushed it a bit wider, and he's just flat batted that really through the covers for 4. And the rather lovely thing with that as well was one of those orange boots on his back foot was in the air as he played the shot. There was a bit of a pirouette there from Sam Curran. As I say, he's in good form, and it's his first boundary. And Surrey move on to 12 for 1. Got one slip in there, then there's a short fine leg, deep backward square. Here's a third man as well. As forward comes Sam Curran. Hudson Prentice goes on a goodish length to him, pushed into the leg side. Tamal Mills comes round to do the fielding, and they will pick up a single. And Sam Curran moves on to 5, and Laurie Evans comes back on strike on 1, and Surrey in the second over, a 13 for 1.
I was at the Oval, Churchy, on Wednesday for the first day of the World Test Championship final as a fan. A friend of mine had a spare ticket. Thoroughly enjoyable day, but what I didn't understand, it got to 6 o'clock. It was a beautiful evening, and the players walked off.
Yes.
They hadn't bowled the amount of overs they should have bowled, and they walked off.
This is one of the major problems. As Hudson Prentice is in, and this is a late guide off the front foot by Laurie Evans down to backward point. Won't get a run there because he's hit the man in there, which is Daniel Ibrahim in there at backward point. But yeah, this has been the thing for years with Test match cricket, that you don't bowl the number of overs, you're way behind the over rate, and then you come off.
Well, it was ridiculous. So we only lost 5 overs on Wednesday, which I thought was bad. I think yesterday they lost 17.
There is a 6th day as well, though, for this, isn't there? As in over the wicket once more is Hudson Prentice, leading edge from Laurie Evans, looking to flick leg side, and he actually flies away over backward point and down to the third man boundary rope for 4, not where he's intending, but Laurie Evans picks up his first boundary. He moves on to 5, end of the second over, and Surrey are 17 for 1. The man to go, Will Jacks, bowled by McAndrew for 5.
And you're listening to live cricket on the BBC Radio Sussex, BBC Radio London. Adrian Holmes and Mark Church at a sold-out Hove, which is lovely to see. Today as well, in the Test, with an hour and a quarter to go, they still had 30 overs to bowl, so they're never going to bowl those. I think in 1 hour they bowled 11, but they keep changing gloves. It was, but then they finished, and I was thinking, well, surely it's a beautiful evening. You play beyond, you bowl your 90 overs like we would in a championship game. But oh no! So I was like, we got lucky on Wednesday, and we saw virtually a full day. But 11 overs an hour is ridiculous.
There is a way of hurrying that up.
In comes McAndrew, bowls, and Curran plays with a very straight back into the covers, fielded by Vipara. There is no run.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about adding runs on, or I don't know. The best way, and I said this with the IPL as well, somebody walks out with a big bag of cash in front of all the players and the umpires and starts taking the cash away.
Yes.
Now, I guarantee you, at that point, they'd be running around to get the overs in.
Yeah. But, Steve Smith changed his gloves today, I think they said, after 9 balls.
Well, there you are.
In comes McAndrew, running around the wicket, bowls to Sam Curran, who works this onto the leg side, picks up a single, fielded by Hudson Prentice. They think about a second, but it isn't there. Curran settles for the 1.
Although, to be fair,
18 for 1. Sorry, Joe.
I love Steve Smith.
Yes.
I think he's a wonderful cricketer, but he is absolute lunatic as well when it comes to cricket. We've had all the stuff with Spider Cam, and then today it was him asking someone in the crowd to take their red T-shirt off. I was getting a bit panicky. I don't know if they've mentioned it yet, but I was getting a bit panicky about the crane that's there, because if that starts moving, well, how is Steve Smith going to stop that?
In comes McAndrew to bowl to Laurie Evans, and Evans is forward, plays this to backward point. It's a dot ball, so it remains on 18 for 1. Yes, indeed, they did talk about that. But earlier on in the day, and sorry, I'm digressing completely here, had Ross Taylor on, the New Zealander, who was saying his test innings that he remembers the most was making 280 odd against the Aussies in Perth. And he said he wore the same pair of gloves through the whole innings. Never took them off because he's quite superstitious. He kept them on. Anyway, Nathan McAndrew running away from us. Lights are on, but it's a lovely evening. Bowls to Laurie Evans. It looks to place it on the leg side. Good bit of bowling by McAndrew, bit of pace off. Evans looking to clip the ball away over the leg side, and it's a dot ball. So good over so far from McAndrew.
Well, actually, you have to say, bar that first delivery, very good. They've been right on it, Sussex here. A lovely shot from Sam Curran, that boundary of Hudson Prince. Nothing wrong with the delivery. It was just a good bit of batting from Sam Curran. But McAndrew, as I say, that first delivery of the game, long half volley, since then he's been right on the money.
Lovely buzz around the ground. You could probably hear in our effects microphone as in comes McAndrew. Bowls, and Evans clips this one on the leg side. That's going to be 4 runs. Beautifully played, just slightly over pitching there. It was pitching around middle and leg, and it was just helped away by Laurie Evans, who'll know this ground very well. And once the ball is clipped, the outfield is lightning fast, and all races away down the hill for 4 runs. Evans goes to 9 and Surrey to 22 for 1.
Yeah, just the wrong line really. It was a pick up for Laurie Evans, and in this sort of form he's not going to miss out, and that was very nicely put away to the boundary rope for 4 runs. He's a lovely player to watch when he's on song, Laurie Evans.
He waits, in bowls, and he's at it again, is Laurie Evans, and he's clipped this one backward or square on the leg side. It nearly goes for 6. It bounces probably a yard or so inside the boundary rope. So Nathan McAndrew had bowled a very good over until that point. His last 2 deliveries of the over go for 8 runs. It is the end of the 3rd over, an over which cost Sussex 9 runs. Surrey are 26 for 1. Sam Curran is on 6, Laurie Evans is on 13. If you've just joined us here on BBC Radio Surrey, BBC Radio Sussex, BBC Radio London, the news that Sussex won the toss and are bowling first. The man out is Will Jacks, who was bowled by Nathan McAndrew for 5.
Yeah, I think that was a really good shot, that last delivery from McAndrew. Wouldn't mind seeing that again. I reckon Laurie Evans took that off about middle stump. I think he made the angle, Laurie Evans. So here's Tamal Mills. That's a very warm round of applause. He'll be coming down the slope, bowling his rockets and slower balls. Left arm over the wicket he comes then to Sam Curran, and it's a short one first up, and Sam Curran ducks underneath it, and that's taken by Burgess. So Tamal Mills there looks back at the footholds, wasn't that happy, but it's a good quick delivery first up from Mills. This will be a good battle, Mills against Evans and Sam Curran. He did for Laurie Evans back in South London, where Laurie Evans stepped away and tried to drill a good leg delivery over extra cover for 6, and his off stump went out the ground.
He did, and Tamal was very pleased to have taken the wicket.
Yes, he was. As he runs towards us, comes left arm over the wicket to Sam Curran, and Curran's cutting firmly, and it's a very good half stop, diving away to his left-hand side out there at cover point by Tom Clark, because that was travelling. That's a really good bit of work from Clark.
And in fact, Tom Clark took a very good catch last night as well. Everything got rather eclipsed by James Cole's amazing catch in front of the pavilion. I was looking at people's faces on the television screens, and it was like that. Oh, what an amazing catch. But Tom Clark also got a very, very important catch. He accounted for Max Holden. Ball that went miles in the end. He just caught it diving forward, one of those ones that was swirling around.
Laurie Evans, right-hander, 13 to his name. Mills is into him, and Evans drives, shot on the up through the covers for 4. That's a gorgeous cricket shot from Laurie Evans. He's enjoyed that one, as Laurie Evans on the up, driven through extra cover. That went like an absolute rocket in true Evans fashion, just held the pose for a second, but it's a gorgeous looking cricket shot that. Evans moves on to 17, and Surrey 31 for 1.
Made a lovely sound, Church, a lovely crack out the middle of the bat.
The best thing about that shot was, as I said, it was on the up. Not a bad delivery that from Tamel Mills, who's over the wicket now to Laurie Evans, goes Fuller, and Evans is driving up the ground towards mid-off, and there is no run. The captain, Mr. Paparo, is just wandering around there at extra cover. I think he's just given a call to Crocombe to get ready to bowl the next over from the sea end. I'm sure it's busy down on the beach. There were a lot of people wandering around the place when I went to get a coffee earlier on this afternoon. Watched all the buses that are named after famous people. Yes, watched them all go past. As waiting is Evans. Mills is going to come left arm round the wicket now to Laurie Evans. Slower ball. Laurie Evans has a drive at that thin inside edge. Tumbling stopped by Michael Burgess. Away to his left-hand side.
I can barely see a spare seat, Churchy. There's a few away to they've got temporary stands at the far end of the ground, the Cromwell Road end. And the very back row, I can see a number of spare seats. Looks like a group haven't turned up. But apart from that, I think pretty much every seat is taken, which is lovely to see.
Yeah, sell out tonight.
Yeah, hopefully the bars are making a few quid, and the club are as well, which is what it's all about in the Blast. Getting people in.
Without a doubt, and the weather helps. As round the wicket goes Mills to Evans, who's driving again, one-handed this time, over the top of the covers. Not exactly how he intended to play it, but he's in such good form. He's playing one-handed now, Laurie Evans, and that flies away to the boundary rope for 4. So 4 gone, and Surrey, solid start this, 35 for 1. Laurie Evans, the man in form, is on 21, and Sam Curran's on 7.
Yes, so 6 off the first over, then 11, and then 2 lots of 9 to follow up. You're quite right, it is going to be Henry Crocombe into the attack. Ravi Papara was saying how he'd been impressed with Henry Crocombe in the tournament so far. He had a bit of a rough night last night, Henry. 2 overs for 26. He came back well, actually, in his second over. But he's being entrusted to bowl this over up the hill. And he's going to be bowling to Sam Curran. So still only the 2 men allowed outside of the 30-yard circle. As Crocombe with a skip and a jump is on his way in to bowl to Curran, who nurdles this one to backward point. They take a single. It's a misfield, actually, by... Who's that? I think it's Nathan McAndrew. I think they would have gone through for the single anyway. Evans was very quick to go through to the danger end.
I do think, as a bowler in T20 cricket, I think you have to accept there is going to be the odd night where you are going to go for runs.
Yes, absolutely.
And you are going to go, and it's just how you put that to the back of your mind and stick to what you do.
Crocombe in his dark blue shirt in and bowls to Laurie Evans, and Evans works that one down towards third man. He's going to pick up at least 1. Tamel Mills chasing back prevents anything more than a couple of runs. Evans comes back for 2. He goes to 23, and Surrey to 38 for 1. Yes, here last, and it was a good win for Surrey at Glamorgan, because Glamorgan played really well here on the Sunday. Chris Cook was in fabulous form. Colin Ingram, they've got some quality players. The lads from Wales were saying maybe the bowling might let Glamorgan down a little.
Well, they haven't got any quick bowlers.
No,
that's the thing.
Crocombe into Evans, and Evans is back defending. Good delivery by Henry Crocombe, played into the offside, fielded at extra cover by Bapara.
And what I mean by that is everybody's injured. So poor Dan Dathwaite went down as well during the Surrey game, and it didn't look good at all. So yeah, I think that's where they struggled, was the fact they haven't got really anyone genuinely quick. And Surrey, of course, had Jordan, Sam Curran, Sean Abbott, Gus Atkinson.
Crocombe in, bowls to Evans, who pulls away onto the leg side. He says he's going to single on this occasion. James Cole's fielding in front of the clock tower scoreboard. 1 more to Laurie Evans. He goes to 24, sorry, 39 for 1 in the 5th.
And we had Tony Cotty with us, and he was saying that what Surrey did was they bowled a championship length on that pitch at pace, and Glamorgan didn't have that. And Surrey did bat extremely well, and I think what was also, if you look at the numbers, is it's really only been Cook and Ingram that have been scoring runs for Glamorgan.
Here comes Crocombe, bowls, and that rather followed Sam Curran. He was looking to step away to the leg side, and Crocombe followed him, and it was a good delivery through to Michael Burgess, and there is no run. Sam Curran rehearses the shot that he was going to play, which was hooking it away towards the Spenkarma Pavilion. Good bit of bowling by Henry Crocombe.
Terrific delivery. Saw him go and followed him, and it was a good quick delivery. That hurried Sam Curran up.
Yeah, he's the quickest of the Sussex bowlers. Crocombe In again, bowls to Curran, who is hit around the thigh pad. The ball bounces down in front of him. That's the end of over. Good over by Henry Crocombe, just conceding the 4 runs, and he'll be delighted about that. And at the end of the over, Surrey are 39 for 1 after 5 overs. With Laurie Evans on 24, Sam Curran is on 8. And if you've just joined us, a very good evening. Live cricket on the BBC. Adrian Harms and Mark Church, BBC Radio Sussex and BBC Radio London, respectively.
Yeah, interesting. After 5 overs against Glamorgan, Surrey were 47 without loss. And after 5 overs here, 39 for 1. So again, it's a strange thing to say in T20 cricket, but it's quite a solid start, this, from Surrey. Whereas the last time they played Sussex, they were trying to hit every ball for 4 or 6, yes, and got found out. As Hudson Prentice is back into the attack, and this is just pulled away dismissively by Laurie Evans for 6. So Laurie Evans there has just waited for the opening delivery of a new over from Hudson Prentice and has just swung him. And as I say, that was pretty dismissive from Laurie Evans. He's on to 30, and Surrey are on to 45 for 1.
A little bit surprised that maybe Tamel Mills isn't bowling the last one in the power play, but there'll be method in the madness, I'm sure.
Over the wicket comes Hudson Prentice, and Evans gets a low full toss that he drives to mid-off, and Shadab Khan does the fielding. Laurie Evans will be determined to back up the 100. You know, when you're in this sort of nick, you want to cash in every single time you bat. So he's gone 52, 118 not out. He's 30 not out here. He's got to start. He'll be determined to keep it going. As Hudson Prentice is over the wicket to him, and he's swinging this one into the leg side. And how much of this has he got? Enough to get it over the boundary rope and away for 4. He's just gone on the length of that, as Laurie Evans. Hasn't gone exactly where he intended, but he's just picked up the length of it. And it's more sort of inside edge of the bat, but it's away for 4. Evans on to 34. And Surrey are 49 for 1. All the corporate hospitality boxes packed.
Yeah, they are.
Which is lovely to see. To our right, I remember when the old bottle bank used to be there, and as the evening went on, your effects mic used to pick up more and more bottles being deposited. As Hudson Prentice is in, Evans digs him out, plays him up towards mid-on. That's very well bowled, right up in the block hole. And there is no run. But yes, as the evening went on, there was just a cascade of bottles going into the bottle bank as the evening moved forward.
But it feels like the sort of night churchy for a glass or two, doesn't it?
Well, I can assure you there are a glass or two being had from what I've seen.
Yes.
They're enjoying themselves out there, sat in the sun. Why wouldn't you? As in over the wicket again comes Hudson Prentice, short one, and Laurie Evans is pulling this, well, hooking it really, in front of square out towards deep mid-wicket for a single. So that's the 50 up for Surrey. So the Surrey's 50 comes up in the 6th over. And against Glamorgan, their 50 came up in the 6th over.
Well, just looking here, Church, you were saying about Laurie Evans, averaging 41, 247 runs in the competition so far, which is a very fine return.
118 not out always helps, doesn't
it? Yes, it does.
Having the old red inker for the averages.
Yes, it does.
Always helps, doesn't it? It can belie a poor season if you get to your last knock of the season and you get a big score and a not out.
Especially if you then win the batting award.
Well, yeah, but you creep yourself up over 20 to 30, don't you? As round the wicket then comes Hudson Prentice. Oh, this is a gorgeous shot from Sam Curran. Just checks him back over his head, straight down the ground for 4. And Laurie Evans enjoyed that at the non-striker's end. That is a gorgeous cricket shot from Sam Curran. And he's on to 12. And Surrey 54. When I was thinking about this, that Surrey play Kent at Canterbury on Sunday in the Championship. Now, of course, Ollie Pope is away with England now. So I was thinking who might bat at 3. Ryan Patel could be an option. Sam Curran would definitely be an option to bat at 3. Right. I know he'd want to play.
Yeah.
It's whether someone's going to tell him to have a rest or not. But he just loves playing cricket, so he's definitely an option. Did it last year, did Sam Curran, but he's in form. Here we are.
We get some leg spin.
Lovely.
So we've got the leg spin of Shadab Khan, who was man of the match last night. Bowled 4 overs, didn't take a wicket. 4 overs for 30. A very short very short edge towards the mound stand at Lord's last night. And he made 59 runs, his highest score in Sussex colours. So Sussex will be able to do more of the same as he comes in and bowls to Laurie Evans. Evans drives firmly straight down the ground, well fielded by Hudson Prentice, who was very, very quickly round long off and prevented anything more than a single. That was very good by Hudson Prentice, because for a moment that was racing across the outfield. So Hudson Prentice has got, there's a long off, there's a deep extra cover and a point on the offside boundary. Then James Cole's down here at long on, and a fielder at deep mid-wicket. Then 3 men saving, 1 on the offside and 1 on the leg for the left-handed Curran. In comes Shadab and bowls, and Curran works this onto the onside. It's very much 1 or 4 here at Hove. Fielded by Tom Clark, who comes off the mid-wicket boundary. So 2 singles to start Shadab's over. Sorry, 56 for 1. Just manoeuvring his field exactly as he wants them is Shadab Khan, as he's in again and bowls. And Laurie Evans pulls onto the leg side. Doesn't quite time that. And it's fielded again, this time by Daniel Ibrahim, running in off the mid-wicket boundary to field. 1 more to the total. 3 off the over so far. Surrey 57 for 1. Haven't been asked to bat this evening here on BBC Radio London, BBC Radio Sussex. Adrian Harms, Mark Church. Out of the sun in the commentary box, but looking at people having a wonderful time at a sold-out Hove. You couldn't have a better evening. There is now officially, well, there's 1 cloud in the sky, a little cloud over the downs, Churchy, but apart from that, beautiful. Khan in again, bowls. Curran pulls firmly onto the leg side. He's just goes going to get 4. He timed that beautifully, Sam Curran, and it is the, here at Hove, where the ball comes down the slope, the ball just couldn't run away from you, and that's what happened there. It just ran away from Tom Clark. He couldn't get there, and it was right out the meat of the bat from Sam Curran. He goes to 17 in the total to 61 for 1.
Yeah, very good shot from Sam Curran, because that's the one from Shadab Khan that just goes on quickly. But he's managed to get himself into a good enough position to put it in front of square.
Khan again bowls. Oh, he chips it back, does Sam Curran. Very nearly gave a caught and bowled. In the end, it bounced a little bit in front of Shadab Khan. Curran rehearses the shot. He was looking to play that one away on the leg side. He got caught slightly in 2 minds. 61 for 1. Shadab again bowls. And this has got many a mile. Oh, wow. That's going to need a new ball. That's gone high, wide, and had some over the southwest corner. I don't know if somebody caught it, because there's a loud cheer. But my feeling was, oh, no, it's coming back. Somebody didn't catch it.
Well, that's a fascinating bit of cricket, because the ball before, Curran was annoyed with himself that he hadn't played that shot. He was sort of in 2 minds, as you said, Mr. Harms, and almost chipped the ball straight back. He almost knew what he was going to do next ball. He was going to get that out of his locker, get that out of his system, and that was the shot he wanted to play to the previous delivery. He's absolutely nailed that as well. He really has. So 7 gone, 13 off that first over from Shadab Khan. Here he is, Mr. Papara, comes into the attack down there at the Cromwell Road end of the ground. And Laurie Evans will be the man on strike on 37. These 2 came together with the score on 6, so they've already added 61 for this second wicket. So Papara down the slope. Over the wicket he comes to Laurie Evans, and the first ball Laurie Evans is pulling through the leg side for 4 out towards the dugout. So Ravi Papara at that pace cannot afford to be short. He knows that, and Laurie Evans has waited for that and then just pulled it into a gap off to the dugouts it goes. 71 for 1. Laurie Evans has moved on to 41. Papara, this stuttering run of his, then over the wicket he comes to Laurie Evans. Now he goes full of length, and Laurie Evans turns this one down the ground towards long on. They'll pick up a single. 1 more to the total. 1 more to Laurie Evans. He moves on to 42. Sam Curran comes back onto strike on 23. It's a lovely, lovely buzz about the place.
There is, isn't there?
Yeah, real sort of festival atmosphere.
And there's something about Friday nights, Churchy, isn't there? It's the weekend is around the corner. Everyone, most people have finished for the week.
Round the wicket once again is Papara to Sam Curran, who's drilling this one off the back foot, half stopped in there at extra cover. They'll get the single. Allsop there doing the fielding. So 1 more to Sam Curran. So it's Friday night.
Yeah, if you're a county chief executive thinking, right, we need beautiful weather, a local derby, this is exactly ideally what the T20 is all about.
Yeah, perfect conditions for T20 cricket. This good pitch, as this is driven, beautiful shot from Laurie Evans. He has placed that to perfection. Down on 1 knee, and then driving it behind square through the offside. He's on to 46 now, Laurie Evans, 77 for 1.
Cracking innings this, isn't it, Church? You said he's in good form, and wow, I mean, everything's going right out in the middle of the back.
I think what he's got to be is really greedy here, Laurie Evans. He's got to start again. There's Papara. It's over the wicket to Evans. That's short again, and it's a repeat of the first delivery of the over, but he gets away with this one.
Well fielded.
It's out there at deep mid-wicket Allsop, and they'll pick up a single, and one more to the total. Evans on to 47. Evans is rehearsing launching that over the indoor school.
Yes. Much of a 72, Churchy, that's come in no time.
Yep. And that's what I like about the way these two have gone about it. It was, again, it's been very controlled, hasn't it?
As
it was the same at Glamorgan. As Papara goes wide of the crease, round the wicket to Sam Curran, who's punching this one off the back foot out towards the sweeper on the cover boundary rope. They'll get a single, and that'll be one more to the total. So the end of Ravi Papara's first over. 8 gone then, here on BBC Radio Surrey, BBC Radio Sussex and BBC Radio London. And Sussex winning the toss, sticking Surrey in. And Surrey, after 8 overs, find themselves 79 for 1.
And a very good start by Surrey, having lost the wicket of Will Jacks in the opening over. He was bowled by Nathan McAndrew for 5, but these two are playing beautifully at the minute, and he's just got a few... He's got to think here, Ravi Papara, you know, how do I stem this flow of runs? Because at the minute... I'm just looking here, Churchy. The second over went for 11, then 9, then 11. Then there was an over of 4. Henry Croker, who's back into the attack now, but since then it's gone 15, 13, 10. So runs are coming very, very fast.
Well, the interesting thing is then where they were against Glamorgan. After 8 overs against Glamorgan, 78 without loss. Against Sussex, 79 for 1. So they're doing it exactly the same way here against Sussex this evening. And that they ended up on 236 for 2.
Ouch.
After their 20.
What can Henry Crocombe do? He's running up the hill from the C end of the ground, comes in and bowls to Curran, who pulls away, and that's going to go for 4 runs. I thought he was going to go for 6 initially. Well, his first over was a good over from Henry Crocombe, but that was too short, and Curran just pulled the ball away to find leg for 4.
He's got that one wrong, hasn't he? Horribly wrong, Crocombe, because he's got fine leg on the edge of the circle, and he banged that in, and that was only ever going one way. It was either going to go for 6 or 4, wasn't it? So he got that one wrong, did Henry Crocombe.
Sam Curran goes to 29 of just 18 deliveries. Laurie Evans 47 of 27. In comes Crocombe, bowls, pulled away by Curran. Down the ground, that's going to be another 4. Nothing Finn Hudson-Prentice could do about that. It was short from Henry Crocombe, and Sam Curran just pulled the ball straight down the ground. The mid-on is a very wide mid-on. It just bounced once and went over the advertising hoardings. Finn Hudson-Prentice has lost the ball. It's come somewhere down below where we're commentating from, actually, Churchy. Finn is having to rummage around down here. They ought to have a steward or something down here, I think, because it's quite... Oh, they found the ball. Well done, Finn. So 2 4s off the first 2 balls of Henry Crocombe's over. The umpire, we haven't mentioned the umpires, have we? Mike Burns and Mark Newell are the umpires.
Man of Sussex, Mr. Newell, of course.
Yes, indeed. I think the umpires should have their names on their backs as well.
Well, that's a good idea. It's very good, because the players do. So
well, they do. And, you know, the umpires wear the same kit, and I get a bit confused which umpire is which, to be honest.
It might be that they don't want people to know in case they give a shocker. That might be the reason.
He comes Crocombe, bowls to Curran, who this time just leans back and cuts this one. A good save at backward point by Nathan McAndrew, but Curran goes through for a single. 88 for 1. Evans on 47, Curran on 34.
Yeah, I think it's... I've never thought of that, actually, but it would make sense, wouldn't it? Because the whole point of the names and numbers of the players is for crowd identification. Now, they may want to know which umpire's which, so I'm sure it wouldn't be too much trouble.
Shall I put something in the ECB suggestion box?
I would write a letter to the ECB as appalled of Tunbridge Wells. Dear ECB, baby.
In comes Crookham's ball to Laurie Evans. Evans pulls away. That's going to be 6 runs. That's gone an awful long way. He's pulled that one away over wide-ish mid-on. It's gone over the top of the Corporate Hospitality away to our right-hand side. The people having a glass of wine or two just watched and sort of waved at the ball as it sailed over the Corporate Hospitality. That's a wonderful shot. It's good to see here a couple of Sussex players coming and speaking to Henry Croker, because he's gone for a couple of 4s and now a big 6.
He might be saying good luck.
Yeah.
Because there was actually nothing wrong with that delivery. It's just that Laurie Evans is in such good nick at the moment, and he's hit that as clean as a whistle.
Well, he goes to 53. A gentleman down here has just got a rugby ball, and he's asking James Coles if he could sign his rugby
Can't bowl with that.
No, you can't bowl with that.
Although it might do a bit more than what we're seeing at the moment.
Well, James needs to concentrate here. Mind you, he'd have needed a ladder and some to get anywhere near that. In comes Croker, bowls to Evans, who's at it again, driving down the ground indeed as far as James Coles. Oh dear, now the chap has let his rugby ball. That's a bit naughty.
Oh, no.
It's a single to Laurie Evans, but the rugby ball has now been thrown accidentally, I hasten to add.
Oh no.
And it nearly went on the pitch.
Oh no.
So he needs to hang on to his rugby ball, does that chap. Yeah, if you're going to bring a rugby ball, don't be silly. He's being silly now. Yeah, he's being silly. He's practising his passing, and it's,
Well, there's a time and a place for practising your passing, and and this is neither the time nor the place.
No, it's not.
And it wasn't a very good pass either.
95 for 1. Surrey off to a flyer. Croker round the wicket. Bowls to Curran, who could be caught. The ball has gone high wide. No, I thought it had gone through to Michael Burgess, but in the end it's going to run away to the far end of the ground. McAndrew stops the boundary, but a rather fortuitous 2 runs for Sam Curran. Is that a no ball? Oh dear. And this is going to be a free hit. So 95 for 1. This is the 9th over, and this could now be a very, very expensive 9th over. Now
they've got too many men outside the circle. That's why the no ball's been given, I think. Mark Newell's just explaining it. I think that's what it is.
Oh, that's sloppy.
Has someone stepped outside the circle? Because it's not a free hit. So, yeah, I think that's too many men outside the circle. Perhaps.
Did he not signal a free hit?
No, I didn't see a free hit signal. He was sort of... Oh, he has. No, I didn't see that.
So this now could end up being very, very expensive.
Crocombe was confused what it had been given.
Yes, he was. He was confused. We'll have to tot all the runs up here, Churchy, because there's quite a few. I reckon it's about 18 or 19 so far. Croker in bowls to Curran. That's a good bit of bowling by Henry Croker. And the no ball is a dot ball, so he got out of the over really well. End of the over, and at the end of the 9th over, Surrey are flying along. They're 99 for 1 with Evans on 54, Curran on 36. That over from Henry Crocombe cost 20, but with a free hit, it could have been worse.
It could have been, and I think he actually did very well to get out of that over without any more damage. But again, Laurie Evans just looks in wonderful form. He really does. So it's been very controlled, this again, by Surrey. Ravi Bopara it will be to bowl the 10th over of this innings. So we're nearly at the halfway point. Evans will be the man on strike. Bopara will be coming down the slope from the Cromwell Road end of the ground. Evans, quick look round the field as Bopara is over the wicket to Laurie Evans, and Evans tucks this one out towards deep backward square. He'll get a single, so that'll be 1 more to Laurie Evans, and the 100 comes up for Surrey. So this partnership now worth 94 between Laurie Evans and Sam Curran. I must apologise to Sunil Narayan, not that he'd care, but I didn't realise he took his 500th T20 wicket in the game against Glamorgan.
Wow, that's a lot of wickets.
500 T20 wickets. Extraordinary, isn't it? As Sam Curran waits for Bopara. Around the wicket he comes, and Sam Curran is pulling this, tugging it behind square, beats short fine, and this races away for 4, and Sussex have got a bit of a problem at the moment. This is getting away from them rapidly.
Yeah. Sussex desperately need a couple of wickets.
Sam Curran moves on to 40, 104 for 1. I think somehow Mills might have to come back in for an over just to try and take a wicket.
Yeah, I mean, they're rattling along here, Church, at 11 and over, Surrey.
This is exactly what they did against Glamorgan. Just to give you an idea, at the halfway point against Glamorgan, they were 107 without loss.
Right, okay.
And that was after 10. They were 104 for 1 in the 10th. As round the wicket once again comes Bopara, and Sam Curran drives this one down towards long off. They'll take the single. Sam Curran moves on to 41. Surrey move on to 105 for 1. The other thing it has done, even though the atmosphere is lovely, it's just slightly subdued the crowd as well, hasn't it?
Yes, the crowd would like a Sussex wicket, I think.
Get them going.
Or 2.
To get them going. As Evans waits once again. Bopara over the wicket to Laurie Evans, backs away outside his leg stump. Nice bit of bowling from Bopara. Oh dear, quick single. Oh. If that hits, he's gone.
I think if Bopara takes that cleanly, he's gone.
Yeah, and Ravi Bopara couldn't take it cleanly. And Laurie Evans is through for the single. There was a bit of a yes-no wait situation there between Sam Curran and Laurie Evans. Shadab Khan picked up, had a shy, and I think Mr. Harms is correct. Had Ravi Bopara taken that cleanly, I think Evans would have been in trouble. Had Shadab Khan hit the stumps, he'd have just kept running. I think Laurie Evans back to the dugout. 106 for 1. Sam Curran. That was the 100 partnership between these two. Sam Curran off the back foot. That might be the end of this partnership. No, he hasn't actually got hold of it. And it drifts in the air, one bounce down towards long off. So this partnership now worth 101. 107 for 1.
Very good indeed. Raw Jack's the man out for 5 and Laurie Evans leading the way.
They put on 118 together on Wednesday night for the second wicket. So they've now gone 118 and 101 for the second wicket, Messrs Evans and Curran. As Bopara is in, and Evans is always trying that little ramp over the keeper. He's actually got nothing on. It's very well taken by Michael Burgess. It's the end of the over, so that is the halfway point for Surrey. They're going along very nicely. They are 107 for 1, and would you believe, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, at the halfway point against Glamorgan 2 nights ago, after 10 overs, Surrey were 107 without loss.
Well,
so they're exactly where they were against Glamorgan when they put on 236.
Right. So we shall see what's going to happen in these final 10 overs, or the second 10 overs to be correct. And as Churchy was predicting, it is indeed going to be Tamel Mills who's going to come back into the Sussex attack. He's just getting his field sorted out. If you just joined us, a very good evening. Live cricket on the BBC, BBC Radio Sussex and BBC Radio London. Adrian Harms and Mark Church. It is Tamel Mills who's going to run up the hill, up the slope from the sea end of the ground. The floodlights are on. Lovely sunny evening. As in comes Mills, bowls, and Curran pulls away onto the leg side. It was a slower delivery from Tamel Mills, and Tom Alsop fields out on the deep square leg boundary. One more to Curran. He goes to 43. Surrey to 108 for 1.
Yeah, the other thing is, we were saying this on Wednesday night, they've still got so much batting to come. Yes, sorry, and it's a very changeable batting order as well. So I think they've sat down and had a chat and said that if we go about this in a controlled way, aggressive controlled way, we can put an awful lot of runs on the board.
Comes Mills, bowls to Evans, who drives nicely on the offside. That's going to be 4 runs. That's a sweet shot from Laurie Evans. He barely seemed to hit that. It flashed past the fielder at point, and the fielding at point on the boundary barely moved, and the ball raced away for 4 runs. Lovely shot.
Classy shot that from Laurie Evans.
Stylish, wasn't it?
Well, he's just waited till the last moment and just opened the face of the bat, checked it straight over the back of backward point. It's a gorgeous bit of batting. But I think Surrey were a bit frenetic in the first few games, and they definitely were the last time Sussex played them. I think they've sat down and gone, listen fellas, if we go about this in a controlled, aggressive manner, we can put a huge total on the board at some point.
Well, here comes Mills over the wicket, bowls, and Laurie Evans should be caught here. It's played straight in the air. James Cole's got a long way to go. Oh, we didn't quite get that. Now he's misfielded it. Well, it was played up in the air by Laurie Evans. He went high, 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 but not very far. And James Coles came racing in. In fact, he was inside the 30-yard circle. He didn't get there. And in going for the catch, it was a misfield, and they picked up 2 runs.
Yeah, well, you need a bit of luck, don't you? And it's funny, you tend to get a bit more when you're in form.
You do. Evans goes to 62. Surrey to 114 for 1 in the 11th. Mills back to his mark. Moral victory for the bowler, but Evans is still there. Mills in again, wide of the off stump, and that will be signalled a wide. Yes, it is. Tamel Mills looks disappointed. I think he knew in his heart the way he looked at the umpire and said, yeah, I know it's a wide. Just looking to push Laurie Evans to play the ball away into the offside, but it's going to be an extra delivery.
Laurie Evans will still be desperate to make that count. As I say, he's got to be really greedy here. He basically will want to go back-to-back hundreds, Laurie Evans. He's got a chance.
62 or 34 balls for Laurie Evans. As in comes Tamal Mills, over the wicket bowls. Evans pulls well to the leg side. Oh, that's a very good bit of fielding by Nathan McAndrew at short, fine leg. He had to move very quickly to his left. He's a big man, is Nathan McAndrew, but he managed to field the ball. And just a single on this occasion to Laurie Evans. Close to 63.
He'll never have a better chance of going back-to-back hundreds in T20 cricket. No. Laurie Evans is in. It's a good pitch. Smallish boundaries.
Now adjustment to the field here. The fine leg is coming up inside the circle, and they've moved the mid-wicket fielder. They've got to make sure they've got enough inside the circle here. Sussex. So long off is James Coles, has come up inside the circle. Para just can't find enough fielders here at the moment because the ball's disappearing to all parts. In comes Mills, over the wicket, bowls, and that rather followed Sam Curran. It's played through square leg. They've taken one, and that's all that they'll take. It's another good athletic bit of fielding by McAndrew. Good cricket all round there, really, because he was stepping away to the leg side, Sam Curran, and Mills followed him. In the end, Curran managed to get a bit of bat on it and picks up another single. So he goes to 44. This partnership now between these two worth 111.
Very good runs as well, aren't they?
They are. And these are good shots. Laurie Evans on 63. Sussex would like to see the back of Laurie Evans if they could. In comes Mills. Bowls. Evans stylishly drives the ball through mid-off. They pick up one. They'll think about two. But a very good bit of fielding by Tom Clark, who's very quickly in from in front of the Shark stand away to our left-hand side. Gets in the throw. Restricts Laurie Evans to a single. So at the end of the over, an over that cost 11 runs, Surrey are 118 for one, with Evans on 64 and Curran on 44.
Yeah, and they're playing very nicely at the moment. Sam Curran and Laurie Evans, and Shadab Khan is going to come into the attack to bowl the 12th over from the Cromwell Road end.
Yeah, you want your overseas to come to the party here, Churchy, don't you? He's bowled one over for 13.
It's tough this though, because this looks a cracking wicket.
Yes.
And they're not big boundaries here at Hove, are they? Shadab Khan then will come over the wicket to Laurie Evans. Oh, that's 6. Laurie Evans has just gone down on one knee to a short ball and swung it over deep backward square for 6. So short again from Shadab Khan. And Laurie Evans has jumped all over that.
Yeah.
Moves on to 70. And Surrey move on to 124 for 1.
My friend's sitting over there. He had a very good view of that.
Yes,
he would have the 6th row. What have you caught it?
Yeah. And Shadab Khan is in. And Evans is going again, standing up straight this time and then swinging it one bounce into the mid-wicket boundary boards for 4. So he's gone 6-4 at the start of Shadab Khan's over as Laurie Evans. He's on to 74, and Surrey are 128 for 1.
Was that score at Glamorgan Surrey's highest in T20?
I don't think it was, right. No.
Okay.
Shadab Khan is in, and Laurie Evans goes onto the back foot this time and just punches him out towards the sweeper on the cover boundary rope. So they will pick up a single. And Laurie Evans moves on to 75. Surrey move on to 129 for 1.
Sussex need a wicket.
They desperately need a wicket now. Very interested to see who Surrey send in next. As Sam Curran, 44 not out. Sam Curran as a survey of the field and settles himself down over his bat as Shadab Khan comes over the wicket to him, and here is Sam Curran driving down the ground, flat batted drive really from Sam Curran. They'll take the single, one more to the total. Sam Curran moves on to 45. Surrey move on to 130 for 1. Laurie Evans coming back on to strike on 75. Shadab Khan is into him. That's short again, quicker, and Laurie Evans was looking to pull that and actually missed it completely. And Burgess got gloves to it. I think that hit Michael Burgess in the chest, poor chap.
Yes, he's
that's just winded him a little bit, and Laurie Evans is just checking he's all right.
They were teammates, of course, for Sussex in that T20 side.
As In over the wicket once again goes Shadab Khan, and cutting this time is Laurie Evans off a short ball out towards the sweeper again on the cover boundary rope. They'll take the single, one more to the total. So again, it's a good over for Surrey. 13 off that one, 12 gone, 8 left, and Surrey are 131 for 1.
Just looking here, Churchy, Surrey's record T20 score is 250 for 6 against Kent at Canterbury in 2018. And the Glamorgan score the other night was their second highest. So they're in good form at the moment of Surrey. It's a good wicket, it's a quick outfield. So it's a night for high scoring, and who knows what Sussex might do, but you just feel that Sussex need a couple of wickets here because they need to stem the flow. Nathan McAndrew is coming back into the attack for the Sharks. He has bowled 2 overs and has taken 1 for 14, so he's escaped the worst of it so far as Nathan McAndrew. He's coming in to bowl to Laurie Evans, who is 76 not out. He comes McAndrew and he beats Evans outside the off stump on a rare dot ball.
Yeah, nicely bowled by McAndrew. Right up there in the block hole.
Yeah.
Laurie Evans was trying to just get a little bit of bat on that and run it off down towards third man.
Yes, he missed 4 games, Nathan McAndrew, after that rather nasty collision with Shadab Khan, but he's back out there now. Big, tall, strong Australian. Waits at the end of his run. Right arm over the wicket, in and bowls to Laurie Evans. Full toss, and Evans has played that straight down the ground. I thought for a minute that had gone to Bopara extra cover. Now, is that over waist high?
Yeah.
And is that going to be
You don't get the free hit for above waist high, but it is a no ball.
Yeah. And is signalled that?
Yeah, he signalled the no ball, but it was umpire Burns immediately. He's going, apologies, you do get the free hit for above waist high. My apologies.
Yeah, it is a free hit.
I'll tell you what, Mark Newell has the most subtle free hit signal, doesn't he?
Yeah, so generally they put it over their head. And
it's almost like he's stirring a cup of tea.
Here we are, no ball, free hit.
Well, he signalled a free hit.
The scoreboard hasn't said that it isn't.
No.
It's all very complicated. I'm pretty certain this is a free hit. In comes McAndrew, around the wicket, bowls to Sam Curran, who hammers it away, makes the most of it. That's gone many a mile, and that has gone for 6 runs. From McAndrew, and Curran just heaved the ball away over long on for a huge 6. It's a 6 that things up 50 for Sam Curran, 51. Wonderful innings from him, and Surrey are motoring here. They're 140 for 1, Partridge with 134, and Sam Curran's 50 coming in 29 balls, Churchy, including 2 sixes and 6 fours.
Yep, and made 62 on Wednesday night. Now 51 not out with overs to bat, Sam Curran. He absolutely nailed that.
He did. McAndrew comes in, bowls to Curran. He's at it again, and that's going to be 6 more. Again over towards where my friend's sitting in the southwest corner. That was short again, and Curran just heaved that one away. There were a couple of fielders on the lakeside boundary. It eluded the pair of them. And this is turning into a run fest for Surrey. 146 for 1. Curran goes to 57. Wow. If they carry on like this 250 is in a bit of danger, you know, Churchy.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Absolutely.
Because these two are scoring. Well, the last over went for 13. This one's already gone for 15. And we've still got 2 balls to go. 3 balls to go. In comes McAndrew, bowls to Curran, who clips this one away through square leg, and he's going to pick up just a single, so a bit of relief. No, he picks up 2 as the throw comes in. McAndrew can't quite see where the ball's coming from. It came out the sun, but a couple of runs fielded out there by Shadab Khan. So Curran goes to 59 and Surrey to 148 for 1 here on BBC Radio, Sussex, BBC Radio London. Adrian Harms and Mark Church on a glorious evening for cricket, and we're watching Surrey are in full flow here. 148 for 1. McAndrew picked up a wicket in his first over, comes in and bowls, clipped away by Curran, backwards from the leg side. Just a single on this occasion, fielded out in the deep by Shadab out there, I think it is. 1 more to the total.
What you would say at the moment, this has been ruthless so far from these two, hasn't it?
It has.
Controlled, but utterly ruthless. They haven't missed out on anything yet.
149 for 1. Andrew waits at the end of his run. Comes into bowl to Laurie Evans. Final ball of the over. He's in and bowls, and Evans hammers that one away through the offside. That's 4 runs. There were 2 fielders on that offside boundary. There was a backward point on the fence and a cover on the fence, and Laurie Evans split the pair of them. And at the end of the over, the end of the 13th over, Surrey are 153 for 1. Laurie Evans is on 81. Sam Curran is on 60. And that over from Nathan McAndrew went for 22, Churchy.
Yeah, it's a brilliant shot again from Laurie Evans. And he's just lent into that. And again, played it very, very late. Well, this is a record second wicket partnership for Surrey against Sussex. The previous was Jason Roy and Kumar Sangakkara, which was 107.
Wow, so smashed that.
Yeah.
It's probably not far away, you'd think, from a record in all T20. It's
Well, they're flying along at the moment. I'm just looking at the highest total for Surrey here is 221 for 8. So 221 for 8 is Surrey's highest total against Sussex here. So they've got that's in danger, definitely.
Well, they're going along at 11.8 and over, so to all intents and purposes, call it 12 and over. Ravi Bapar, is it Shadab coming back in? Shadab's coming back into the attack.
Yep, coming back into the attack. So they've got 7 overs left, but they've got 2 set batters in Laurie Evans on 81 and Sam Curran on 60. And this partnership between these two is now worth 147 is the partnership for this second wicket between Messrs Evans and Curran. Curran will be the man on strike, the left-handed Curran on 60. Shadab Khan then ready to come in from the Cromwell Road end of the ground. Sam Curran settles over his bat. Shadab Khan tosses this one up. Sam Curran's chipped it over the top of Ravi Bapar at extra cover, and they're going to get back for 2. It's excellent running from Laurie Evans and Sam Curran, and Sam Curran slid his batted and then left his bat behind. He almost was doing the pole vault there.
Yes. Sam
Curran leaving his pole vaulting stick behind there. He's picked up a couple, and Sam Curran moves on to 62 and 155 for 1, sorry. And of course, the other thing is with the batting lineup, if they wanted to, they could bump Sanu on Orion in next to give it a go. Try and keep this all up. You haven't got that bad yet, Mr. Holmes. You don't have to crack open the drink just yet. As over the wicket comes Shadab Khan. That's very wide outside the off stump. That will be signalled wide. And it's taken by Michael Burgess, moving away to his left. I do feel as well like we're on the high seas, because the black sheet that's being used as a sight screen away to our left is billowing in the wind like a sail.
It is.
As Shadab Khan's in, another one, another wide.
Sam Curran hurt himself?
No, he sort of turned himself around to reverse sweep it and then overbalanced a touch. Yes. Shadab Khan followed him, but it was so wide outside the off stump. So that's the 150 partnership between these two.
There's still 5 balls left in this over.
Yeah, we could be here a while. As Shadab Khan is in and Sam Curran drives again inside out. That's a great shot for 6. They've got the long off in, so he's just at the last minute thrown his bottom hand into it and has gone towards the dugouts instead. That's a wonderful cricket shot from Sam Curran. He's on to 68 and Surrey move on to 163 for 1.
I mean, Ravi Bapar just doesn't know where to turn here at the moment. The ball is disappearing to all parts, and you have to give a huge amount of credit to the way that these two are batting.
This is now the highest partnership for Surrey against Sussex in T20 cricket, going past the 149 of Hashim Amla and Jason Roy. As Sam Curran's driving, and that'll be the end of it, because it's got an outside edge and it's into the hands of Tamal Moores, who's trying to get the Sussex players around him for a chat.
He is. He is. That's really good to see, actually.
But what an innings that's been from Sam Curran, and what a partnership with Laurie Evans. But yes, Tamal Mills there has just called every Sussex player around for a bit of a chinwag about all of this. But Lovely innings from Sam Curran. Gone for 68. He looks so disappointed to Sam Curran. And Surrey are 163 for 2.
Yeah, what a partnership that was. 157, Churchy, yeah? Between the
157, the partnership.
Amazing, really, really good partner. But you're quite. As soon as Tamal Mills took the catch, he sort of gestured to everybody to come in, and you can only imagine that's come on, lads, go get your chins up here. You know, we've got a wicket. Let's
it might have been who wants to bowl the next time.
Well, it might have been. It might have been. Yeah, it might have been.
I'm done, lads. That's me done for the night. No, I think it was more just to get everybody round, say, come on, we got a full house in. Let's try and drag this back now. But here's the formidable figure of Jamie Overton in at number 4. So Shadab Khan will come over the wicket to Jamie Overton. Overton's first ball. He's off the mark and just turns this one neatly and tidily into the leg side. Oh, he's got to get his skates on here with the throw, but he's back for 2. The throw hits him. That causes a grimace from Jamie Overton. And they've picked up a couple of runs. Is he all right here, Jamie Overton? He's just flexing that right knee of his. And, I think he's okay. He's marching back to the crease, but he's just felt that knee of his there.
Has he got a problem with his knee?
Yeah, he's had a bit of a. Well, do you remember he came off against Sussex in that T20 game?
He did.
So, but then he was fine for the next game. So I just wonder if he's got a bit of a niggle in there and came sprinting back for the second. But he's okay. And Shadab Khan is into him. That's very short, and that's cut by Jamie Overton out to the sweeper on the cover boundary road. They'll take the single. He looks to be moving all right now. He's just niggling at the back of his right knee is Jamie Overton. He's on to 3, and Laurie Evans comes back onto strike on 81.
If you went to the pub and Jamie Overton was there and he said, "You're not allowed in," I think you'd probably say, "That's fine, I'm going to go home."
Thank you very much. Lovely to meet you. I'll go and find somewhere else.
Thank you for your advice
this evening, my good man. As Laurie Evans is sweeping, and he's got this pretty fine on the leg side. The chase is a brilliant effort, but it's over the boundary rope and away for 4. So that's a boundary off the last ball of the over. It takes Laurie Evans on to 85. 14 overs are gone, and Surrey are 170 for 2. And Shadab Khan with that wicket of Sam Curran for 68. So 6 to go for Surrey. And Tamal Mills is coming into the attack from the sea end.
Well, there was 17 off that over, so Sussex did get a wicket at least, but there were 2 wides, which were rather costly for Sussex. Now, Tamal Mills is quite animated out there, you know. I think he's almost taking on the role of skipper here, isn't he? He's saying, come on, let's not give this up, a couple of wickets. I mean, you have to believe, don't you? I mean, come on, let's get one of these 2. But this has been a wonderful batting display by Surrey. Sussex just need to get a bit of a move on it, looking at the cut-off time, which is 20:19, I think. And there are still 6 overs to be bowled. In comes Mills. He's going to bowl to Overton. He's in and bowls, and Overton is beaten outside the offside. Good bit of bowling by Tamal Mills. Overton forward. He makes a signal towards Laurie Evans as if to say that moved off the pitch, and Laurie Evans sort of walked away as if to say, "Well, I'm seeing it all right. I mean, I've got 85. I mean,
Jamie,
nothing wrong with the track, mate."
Jamie, I've middled everything. You're talking to the wrong man here.
Yeah, hasn't been moving so far, Jamie. Yeah. Laurie Evans leans on his bat at the non-striker's end. Mills on his way again up the slope from the sea end, bowls to Overton. That's wide outside the off stump. Overton reaches for that, gets a bit of a contact, ugly shot really, but the ball runs to backward point, fielded there by Henry Crocombe. It's a comparative calm, a dot and a single, 171 for 2.
I thought what Papa and Mills was saying is we can still drag this back. It's a good pitch to bat on. We've seen that, and Sussex are, some good players themselves in that batting lineup. So we've just got to keep it manageable here.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Mills running in away from us. He's in his 3rd over. In and bowls to Laurie Evans, and Evans plays that onto the onside. They've taken 1, and that's all they'll take on this occasion, fielded by Daniel Ibrahim, who comes running in from the deep mid-wicket boundary. So a dot, and in 3 singles, is that, or is it just a dot and 2 singles? Dot and 2 singles, I was getting ahead of myself. If you just joined us, a very good evening. Where have you been? You've missed a run fest here at Hove on BBC Radio Sussex, BBC Radio London, Adrian Harms and Mark Church. Sussex winning the toss, asking Surrey to bat first. Surrey 172 for 2 in the 15th. Tamel Mills running away from us, comes in and bowls to Overton. Overton is forward and plays it out into the offside. Good over from Tamel Mills so far.
Love about this is Overton and Mills are playing some proper cricket here, aren't they? It's gone past his outside edge with a forward defensive, and then Jamie Overton just pushing that one solidly for a single.
Overton goes to 5 off 5, and it brings the man in form, Laurie Evans, who's on 86 of 46 deliveries. Just the 3 singles off the over so far from Tamel Mills. Turns in front of us, literally in front of our commentary box here. We've got a wonderful view as he runs up the hill from this, the C end of the ground, number 7 on the back of his blue shirt, comes in and bowls short, and that balloons over the head of Laurie Evans. And
no ball.
Is he signalled that as a no ball?
Yep. Just got the signal from umpire Burns away there in the distance.
Yeah. But that is not a free hit.
Not a free hit.
Yes, it's only a free hit if it's over waist high without bouncing. Is that correct? Yeah. They need to look at the rules, these umpires. There's all sorts of rules around T20. Tamel Mills will be annoyed about that. 2 extra runs for the total as well. 175 for 2. Mills in again, bowls, and that's a full toss outside the off stump, and that's a wide.
They've got to get their skates on here, Sussex.
They have. Well, what will happen otherwise is you're going to have another man up inside the circle, and that happened against Glamorgan. So then you've only got 4 men chasing around the boundary.
They have to be starting the final over at 19 minutes past 8.
Yes, and I think they're going to be struggling because there's another 5 overs to be bowled yet, and we've got another 2 balls to bowl in this over. Mills, he's trying to push the ball wide of Laurie Evans off stump. Evans on 86 comes in and bowls. Evans hammers that one away through mid-off, and it's going to run away for 4 runs. I thought there was a fielder out there at mid-off, but he was he was more towards deep extra than long off, and the ball's rolled away for 4 runs, and Laurie Evans goes to 90. 180 for 2.
Yeah, he's got an opportunity here. I said right at the start, he has got to be greedy. If you're in nick, make the most of it. That's exactly what he's doing here, Laurie Evans.
I'm sure he's got. I thought in fact it's a deep extra cover rather than a long off that Tamel Mills has got, and that's why they've all just raced away for 4 runs. In comes Mills again, bowls to Evans, who's at it again. This time it goes to backward point. A good sprawling save prevents the boundary, but it's still going to be a couple of runs. A throw comes into Michael Burgess, who whips off the bails, but Laurie Evans is back for his 2nd run. It is the end of the over, and Surrey are 182 for 2. Laurie Evans is on 92. Jamie Overton is on 5. So 5 overs to go, and Surrey are rattling along here at 12 and over.
Yeah, and Sussex are getting around as quick as they can here. They know they've got to. Otherwise, I think they'll struggle to be starting the last over at 19 minutes past.
Yes.
We've got another 5 to go, so they've got to get 4 overs done in 12 minutes. Which they're not going to do. So Crocombe Hudson Prentice is into the attack to bowl the 16th over, and it's going to be Jamie Overton on strike, and he turns this one into the leg side. They'll take the single, and this will bring Laurie Evans on to strike on 92. 118 not out on Wednesday night. 92 not out on Friday night. Laurie Evans wanders off towards square leg to have a think about everything, and then settles himself down over his batters. Hudson Prentice down the slope, right arm over the wicket to Laurie Evans, full toss. Laurie Evans throws the bottom hand into this. That's going to get down to long on. They'll take the single. Laurie Evans feels he's missed out a little bit there, but they get the single. 184 for 2. Evans has moved on to 93. Overton comes back onto strike on 6. So it's a subdued atmosphere at the moment. I've only seen the 2 Surrey wickets so far. As Hudson Prentice is in, and this is powerfully struck by Jamie Overton off the back foot over Ravi Bopara at extra cover on the edge of the circle. He's such a strong man, Jamie Overton, and he's got that away over Bapara. That races off to the boundary rope for 4. Overton's on to 10, and Surrey move on to 188 for 2.
Barely looked as if he hit that, you know, and it absolutely raced away, didn't it?
And as I say, he's a very, very strong man. Here's Jamie Overton. Some Prentices into it, and that's a full toss which he's flicking at out towards deep mid-wicket and away for 4 more, because he's split the 2 men out there on the leg side boundary rope. And again, that's the power from Jamie Overton. A low full toss, and he's got a bat on it, and it's all about placement then. If you can hit a gap at that with that power, it's going to find the boundary rope. So back-to-back boundaries. Overton moves on to 14. Surrey have moved on to 192 for 2. Some Prentices over the wicket again. Short one. Jamie Overton, top edge for 6. That has soared into the crowd. It was top edge, but Jamie Overton, if he top edges something, it tends to also go a very long way. And Jamie Overton moves on to 20, and Surrey move on to 198 for 2.
It's another expensive over, isn't it? 16 of this over. There's still a ball to go.
And they're definitely going to have one man less in the last over outside the circle, Sussex.
They are.
Hudson Prentices into Overton. Short one again, and Overton's pulling this one behind square, and again he's so strong that's going to race away over the boundary rope for 4. So that's turned into a very expensive over. It's brought up the 200 for Surrey. That's 20 off that over. Surrey have had 2 overs with 20 runs off the bat, and Surrey with 4 to go are 202 for 2.
Well, this record score in the T20 for Surrey at 250 is under a bit of threat here. You know, they need another 49 to break the record, and they're scoring comfortably here at 12 and over, Churchy. I think you better do this. I'll start to commentate, but if Laurie Evans gets to within a blow of his 100, I think you should take over, dear chap. I think you should. Because, I think you should. It's the sort of unwritten rule that we have in the commentary box.
It is. Right.
In comes Henry Crocombe. What can he do? Runs away, comes into bowl to Laurie Evans in and bowls, and Evans hits this one high. No, he could be caught. He could be caught. James Coles is underneath it, and he takes it. Good catch by James Coles, and a wonderful innings from Laurie Evans comes to an end. He's out for 92, but that's a tremendous innings, and we'll listen to the ovation for Laurie Evans, which I'm sure he's going to get. Shots all around the ground, and how nice. Tamal Mills wandered up to Laurie Evans. He would know him of old, and just shook his hand. Well batted, Laurie, he said. Good catch by James Coles, who's taken 2 very good catches for Sussex in the last couple of days. But let's listen to the applause for Laurie Evans. I'll keep quiet. We are against his former county, Laurie Evans. He wanders off. He'd have loved to have got 100 here. He's fallen 8 runs short, but my word, that was an exhibition of brutal hitting from Laurie Evans, and not slogging either.
No, not at all. A pure innings that from Laurie Evans. Great catch from Coles.
Yes, it was.
Because that was up there for ages.
Yes, it was.
But no, wonderful innings, and sort of backing up what he did on Wednesday night. And Tom Curran's a new batter.
In comes Henry Crocombe, bowls to Curran, who hammers that one around to the leg side. First ball, and he picks up a boundary. Too short from Henry Crocombe, and no chance of Daniel Evering cutting that off on the leg side boundary. She said Curran's on his way for a boundary.
Well, the batting just keeps coming, and I think the key thing here is now they have a platform. So thanks to Sam Curran and Laurie Evans, there was a platform for anybody else coming in. Whereas before, everybody was going for it from ball 1.
Crocombe up the hill into bowl to Curran, who pulls that way. That's going to go for 6. That's going over the hospitality boxes to our right hand side. So Tom Curran walks in, hits 4 and then 6. Wasn't a great delivery, to be fair, from Henry Crocombe. It was a full toss. It's a shortish leg side boundary, and it's just pulled away for 6 runs.
This is the problem that Sussex have got. As I say, the batting just keeps coming.
212 for 3. Still 3 overs remaining. Sussex are going to miss this cut-off by a mile. The cut-off has now gone to 2020, in fairness.
Well, they take into account the ball going out the ground and all that good stuff. You can't keep adding time on.
In comes Crocombe. Bowls to Curran. Hammers that one away. Is that going to be 4 more? No, good bit of fielding. Good bit of fielding away to our right hand side. Who's that out there? It is Tom Clark. but a single to Curran, so he's very quickly on to 11 of 3, 213 for 3, Surrey, and we're in the 17th over. Crocombe on his way to bowl to Overton. He's in, Overton hammers out on the way down the ground, he's going to be caught. Oh, good catch. Good catch by Tom Clark. That was really, really good by Tom Clark, and that was slightly reminiscent of James Coles' catch yesterday. Not quite as spectacular, but again, it was one of these catches where he carried the ball up in the air, stepped over the boundary rope, came back in and took the catch. So well done, Tom Clark. That was very good indeed. And Surrey are 213 for 4, and Overton is on his way for 24. So a couple of really good catches. James Coles with a good catch to get rid of Laurie Evans, and now Tom Clark with a very good catch to get rid of Jamie Overton.
Well, the best thing about that catch was that was travelling.
Yes, it was.
And he somehow managed to stay strong, take it, not fall over the rope, and then flick it up when he took a couple of paces back, because he absolutely hammered that.
He
did Jamie Overton. So Sean Abbott,
oh dear,
is out there now.
He got 100 the other week, didn't he?
He did indeed, against Kent in 34 balls.
It was all getting a bit depressing, Church. He comes Crocombe bowled and played down the ground. Just a single on this occasion by Abbott. Clark is in very quickly and prevents anything more than a single. So at the end of the over, amongst all the excitement, I've dropped my pen.
Oh,
so
no.
I need to make some notes, Church. And I've found another one, but I've got a blue pen now instead of a black one. But never mind.
It's all gone wrong.
It is. End of the over, 214 for 4.
Yep.
Abbott on 1 and Curran on 11.
Yeah, and actually, to be fair to Crocombe, just 12 off that over and a couple of wickets. So it's in the context, it's a pretty good over that. This will be the 18th now by McAndrew from the Cromwell Road. It's certainly woken the crowd up, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Those couple of wickets, they were a little subdued, but now they're feeling a bit happier about life. But yeah, Sean Abbott, 34 ball 100 against Kent. Extraordinary, really.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. So,
he just had a night out, really, where everything just kept going for 6 or 4. As McAndrew then will come down the slope over the wicket to Abbott, and Abbott's pulling this one into the leg side. That goes out towards deep mid-wicket, and they'll pick up another single. 215 for 4, as Nothing Breaks Like a Heart comes into my headphones. Yes. Yeah, it's very nice. I don't know who sings it, but it's very nice. It's very nice. As Tom Curran settles himself down over his bat, as McAndrew is in, and Tom Curran looks to swing a short ball into the leg side, gets nothing on it, but this will be wide signalled. There's been a few of those tonight. I think that'll be the thing that annoys Sussex.
Yes.
And Mr. Farbrace, of course.
Well, there's been 5 wides and 3 no balls. There's 8 extra deliveries. That doesn't help.
Well, it's 21 and 0.20, which you're giving the opposition, isn't it? As over the wicket again comes McAndrew. That's the slower out the back of the hand delivery, and it's swung by Tom Curran down towards long on, and they will take a single. Tom Curran moves on to 11. And 12, apologies, 217 for 4. Well, we've still got
You're doing very well to commentate, Churchy, with the music in your ears.
I rather like it, I have to say. As in over the wicket comes McAndrew, and driven by Abbott out towards extra cover. And there is a single there for Sean Abbott. 218 for 4. It's always rather fun, though, I think, when you get a bit of the news in your headphones. As McAndrew's in.
Whoa,
this is 6.
Look at that.
Tom Curran swung away for 6.
Yes, thank you, Joe. Well, we should have finished, but Sussex are a bit behind time here, and that's really because they spent most of the evening having to get the ball back from the crowd, because Surrey is smashing the ball all over the place. They're 218 for 4. We're in the 18th over. They've got 2 overs to go, so a massive score from Surrey, led by Laurie Evans. He made 92, a tremendous innings by the ex-Sussex man, ably supported by Sam Curran, who made 68. So we're in the 18th over. Surrey going along like a train. They're 225 for 4. Just see if I can give them a call, Churchy. So
Yes,
we can
of
cut
course.
the cleat.
But that did go a long way, that 6, off the bat of Tom Curran. As over the wicket comes McAndrew, and that's a Yorker, and it hits the toe end of Sean Abbott's bat as he tries to whip it leg side. And it's a good last delivery, that from McAndrew. But again, there's 11 off that over, so there are 2 to go. They're going to miss the cut-off, and 2.25 for 4. So they'll only be allowed 4 men outside the circle for the final over.
They will.
Which it can be very costly, that, especially if you hit it where that man should be, if that makes sense. And it's Tom Mills who will bowl the penultimate over. So Surrey 26 runs away from a record T20 score for them.
Yeah. What did Jamal Mills? Oh, is he bowling to Tom Curran? And he runs away from us up the hill. Comes in, bowls to Curran, who hammers the one down the ground. There we are. There's 6 of them straight away. Just belted straight down the ground in front of us. Curran hits a 6 off the first ball of the over. So that's 231 for 4.
I'll tell you what, Tom Curran to me looks like he's come out and said to himself, I haven't had a bat for a while. When I did get a bat against Kent, I missed out. So I'm coming out and I'm going to make some really quick runs here, because he has hit the ball ferociously, hasn't he, so far?
25 off 7. Has he still got a bad back? Because he's still unable to bowl?
He can't. Well, he's sort of in warm-ups, etc., bowling, but not in games as yet.
Right. In comes Mills. Bowls to Curran, and that's going to be 4 more. Belted away. Nothing Tom Clark can do about that. He's one of Sussex's best fielders. Belted away through extra cover. So 10 off the first 2 balls. And this record now is in serious threat.
Well, they might get it this over.
235 for 4. Surrey. Curran is on to 29 off 8 balls.
It's not beyond the realms possibility they could go past the 250 in this over. The way Tom Curran's whacking it at the moment.
Mills waits. Well, it's not quite what the crowd would have hoped for in terms of Sussex doing well, but they've been treated to a display of power hitting here by Surrey. In comes Mills around the wicket. Bowls to Curran. That's 6. Is that going to 6 balls? Is he going to be caught? He's going to be caught at long off by Tom Clark, who takes the catch. So a bit of respite for Sussex. Tom Curran is on his way. 29 off of 9 deliveries. And another wicket for Jamal Mills. Another catch by Tom Clark. 235 for 5 Surrey. And Curran is on his way.
Oh, it's a damaging little innings that from Tom Curran. He was striking the ball beautifully.
He was.
Looked a lovely shot off the bat, but it just didn't have quite enough on it, and a good catch from Clark. So, yeah, this has been ruthless from Surrey this evening. It really has so far. And here comes Jamie Smith out to the middle. Smith batting at 7. He hits this one. Well. He's a very fine player, this young man. Played a terrific innings against Kent. Won it off the last ball, 49 not out on Sunday. Yeah, the batting just keeps coming.
Jamal Mills in his final over. That's his first wicket. And he's coming up the hill to bowl to Jamie Smith. He's in and bowls, and wide of the offside. That's going to be another wide, I'm afraid. So Sussex have already missed the cut-off time. They've got 5 men inside the circle now. So they've got 4 men only who've got to charge around the boundary. So 6 wides, 3 no balls. So 9 extra deliveries, which is a lot in this. You're giving Surrey virtually 2 extra overs. What can Mills do? Smith waits. He's yet to score. 236 for 5 as the sun sets in the west. And Mills is away from us. In about, that's going to be another wide. No, he's caught. He's caught at backward point by Henry Crocombe. Jamie Smith is on his way without scoring. A wide delivery by Jamal Mills. It was a slightly slower one, and it was played by Jamie Smith, an edge, caught at short third man by a diving Henry Crocombe. So a little bit of respite for Sussex in this over. There were 10 off it, but they picked up a couple of wickets. Henry Crocombe with the catch.
Stupid game cricket, isn't it? There's Jamie Smith, wonderful player. And goes second ball, chasing a wide one. Which had he let it go, it would have been another wide, I think, from Jamal Mills.
It would have been.
Yes.
It would have been a wide, Churchy. Yeah, no question at all.
Here comes Sunil Narain.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
It is ridiculous.
That is a little depressing.
It is ridiculous, really. But out he comes, Mr. Narain. But actually, this is a good over from Tom Mills because he's just. He's just holding it back a touch, isn't he? He's only bowled the one legitimate delivery so far. Apologies, 4 legitimate deliveries so far, but he's picked up Tom Curran and he's picked up Jamie Smith. So he is just keeping a bit of a lid on this.
Yes. He's running away from us to bowl to Narayan, who can hit the ball a long way, and he belts that one away through extra cover. It's just going to be a single, though, fielded out there by the scoreboard by Finn Hudson-Prentice. So 1 to Sunil Narayan. 1 more ball to go in the over, 237 for 6. Church and I have been saying about the record Surrey score in T20 cricket that came in Canterbury. It was 250 for 6. They're probably not too... Well, I don't know if they're bothered about these sort of things or not, really. I guess if they know about it, they might think, ooh.
What year was that?
I think he said it was 2018, I think.
Oh, well, I can't remember that at all. Terrible, isn't it?
In comes Mills over the wicket, bowls and hammer down the ground. That's going to be caught by James Coles. No, it's not. It's way over the head of James Coles. That goes for 6 more to Sean Abbott on this occasion. At the end of the over, Surrey are 243 for 6. Sean Abbott is on 9. Sunil Narayan is on 1. So Mal Mills has finished his stint. He's probably quite pleased about that. But he's picked up a couple of wickets. And, well, sometimes you have to tip your hat, don't you? And say, well, actually, sorry. I mean, Sussex haven't helped their cause, to be fair. But it's, you know, there's been some real power hitting here by Surrey tonight.
And it's been pretty controlled, hasn't it? Especially at that top part, Sam Curran and Laurie Evans. That was a very controlled partnership from those two.
You better check. I don't know if there's someone from Surrey who's listening who could perhaps check. And I mean, I'm saying 250 for 6.
No, I've had a couple of people tell me that on the wonderful world of social media.
Oh, good. Okay.
It's that 250 is...
Good, I'm glad I didn't sort of make it up.
No, not at all. So, that's the one we're being told.
Well, Church, it's fitting that you are on the comms. Looks like Henry Crocombe has got the honour, in inverted commas, of bowling the last over of the innings.
So...
That over went for 18, by the way.
It's the last over. It is Crocombe, and he's into Sunil Narayan. It's down the leg side. Wide is the signal. So with 6 balls still to go.
8 wides now.
Oh dear.
8 wides, 3 no balls. So he sets.
Well, you're almost up to 2 extra overs.
Yeah, and that's what happened against Glamorgan here on Sunday.
244 for 6. Crocombe is into Narayan, swings it leg side. That'll be 4. So I think we can safely say now that Surrey will record their record T20 total, because they are 248 for 6 with 5 deliveries still to go the innings.
Well, it must be one of the largest T20 scores, you know, where that sits in T20 sort of folklore in T20 cricket around the world, I would say. There's not too many there's not too many 250s, Churchy.
Yep. And it's going to be a record score for them. As Crocombe's in, this could be it, because Narayan has swung in leg side. Oh, good catch. No, dropped by Coles. Thought he'd done it. Coles came sprinting round, had two grabs at it and put it down. So that is the 250 up for Surrey. So they have equalled their record score now with 4 balls to go. But it was a great effort for Coles to get round.
Well, he's taught 2 brilliant catches the last couple of nights, but he couldn't hang on there.
He was moving too fast, I think. As Crocombe is into Narayan, and Narayan swings this one high in the air, down the ground. This will be the record score, because it's a single. And even my maths tells me 250 plus 1 is 251. So there you are, a record score for Surrey in T20, 251 for 6 with 3 deliveries remaining.
And now Sean Abbott with a chance to sort of see if he can extend that record score, and he can hit the ball a long way, as we know from the performance at the Oval a couple of weeks ago against Kent.
Certainly can. As he waits over his back, Crocombe's into him. There he goes, swinging flat. 1 bounce. And away for 4. 255 for 6, sorry. 2 balls to go. The thing is, it's just when Sussex go out there to have a bat, it's well, we were discussing this with Tony Cotty, and he thought from Glamorgan it was sort of like a free hit, really. You just got to go at it from ball one. That's exactly what Sussex will have to do tonight. As Crocombe is in to Abbott, just turns this one into the leg side. He'll want two. He'll come back for two at this stage of the innings. It's gone to Narayan's end, who as usual isn't really sprinting to. So Neil Narayan sort of jogs the second. 2:57 for 6 with a ball to go. It seems to have taken forever, this innings.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's taken nearly an hour and a half.
Yeah. So Crocombe is into Abbott. Last ball of the innings, and Abbott drives him. It hits the stumps at the bowler's end. They'll get a single. And that will mean Surrey finish with a record 258 for 6, which is a fabulous effort from them. Built around Laurie Evans' 93 and Sam Curran's 68. Abbott finishes 16 not out, and Narayan finishes 8 not out.
Well, that's an amazing effort. Let's listen to the applause, because I'm sure the Sussex supporters will be disappointed that their side have been belted all around the ground. I mean, they scored at 12.9 and over. Sorry, best part of 13 and over. The players make their way off. I mean, some quality batting in there. Just talk about this partnership, 153 between Curran and Evans, because let's face it, in the first over, Jacks was out. Sorry.
This is a Higgity feast. There's plenty of this, and this, and these as well. We top it like this, and bake it like that. Higgity. Baked generously. This is a higgity feast. There's plenty of this, and these as well. We top it like this, and bake it like that. Higgity. Baked generously.
Sam Curran, who made 68, and Laurie Evans, who made 93. So, how does Sussex go about this? It's a bit of a mountain to climb for them, but they'll give it a go as Tom Clark makes his way out to the middle alongside James Coles to get this Sussex run chase started. Sean Abbott from the C end to bowl the first over. Tom Clark will be the man on strike, so the left-handed Clark on strike. 2:59 to win this game of T20 cricket for the Sussex Sharks. Jamie Overton's at slip, then there's a third man on the edge of the circle, there's a cover point, extra cover mid-off, mid-on, deep mid-wicket, and the fine leg. So Sean Abbott, first delivery to Tom Clark, and he's off the mark in nice fashion, just clips this one into the leg side, and that'll pick up pace as it goes down the slope, and it's gone away for 4. So that's the problem here at Hove. If it gets going down that slope, you're never catching it. And despite the best efforts of Tom Laws and Tom Curran to get to it, the two Toms couldn't get anywhere near it. So lovely way for Tom Clark to get off the mark. That whole first ball, once it hit the bat of Tom Clark, dominated by Toms. Because it was the two Toms chasing after it as well. Sean Abbott. Over the wicket he comes to Tom Clark, and Clark has a little flash at one outside his off stump, beats the outside edge. It's taken by Jamie Smith, moving away to his left-hand side. I think everyone's still sort of getting over what they saw with that Surrey batting. Sort of nipped outside. There were a lot of people sort of wondering what on earth they'd just witnessed, I think. But as I say, from a Sussex point of view, Adrian Harms is alongside. They've really just got to go for this from ball one. As Abbott is in, and Tom Clark looks to flick leg side, shout for LBW. Sean Abbott's fallen over, appealing. Oh dear, he has. I think he's all right. He's getting up slowly now, Sean Abbott. But yes, it was a dramatic collapse in the appeal there from Sean Abbott, but he seems okay. He's got up and he's wandering back towards us now. So a leg by is the signal. 5 without loss.
What do you sort of feed the Surrey players on? Because I'm looking at Overton and Abbott, they both look as if they could sort of be sort of, locked forward.
Yes, well, thank goodness Jordan Clark's not playing as well.
Oh, right.
Because he's enormous.
Right.
When Overton and Jordan Clark back together, I always say it's like the grown-ups have arrived. As in over the wicket goes Sean Abbott. James Cole's first ball flashes and an outside edge, and that flies away down to the third man boundary rope for 4. Abbott ends up with his hands on his head. So 9 off this first over. It's a frenetic start, as it probably needs to be. And the Sharks are 9 without loss in the first.
Yes, this is a new opening partnership for Sussex. It would have been Ali Orr, who's sadly injured his knee and is out for a good few weeks, sadly. Last night, Michael Burgess opened with Tom Clark, and tonight it's a new opening partnership.
Coles waits over his bat. 2 balls of this first over to go. As Abbott is over the wicket to him, and he's flicking at this one, and Jamie Smith has got something on it. And will this be leg byes? I think it just brushed the pad. Yes, it did. So leg byes are the signal. Yes, as I say, it's a fairly frenetic start. Sussex 10 without loss in the first. And Tom Clark comes back onto strike once again. 2020 cricket, eh? Madness at times. Absolute madness. As over the wicket comes Sean Abbott to Tom Clark, and Clark swings him leg side straight out to Tom Laws at deep backward square. They'll pick up a single. So it's a better first over than Surrey had, because Surrey was 6 for 1.
Well,
at the end of the first. Sussex are 11 without loss.
Well, I wonder whether we could perhaps stop the game now. I think that should be
count back.
Yes. So at least Sussex have come out. They've a decent start, 11 without loss here on BBC Radio Sussex, BBC Radio London. Thank you very much for joining us for our coverage tonight from Hove, packed house here. And the crowd will just be hoping that Sussex put on a show. What they won't want to see is Sussex, crumble in a heap here. And I'm sure the Sussex lads have been up in the dressing room saying, come on, we've got a big crowd in tonight, let's give it a go.
Well, it was what happened. Glamorgan's run chase never really got started, and it was a funny odd atmosphere because they ended up 72 runs short but weren't all out.
Wow.
So we went to the last over and we went to the last ball of the game, needing 73 off the last ball.
Here comes Will Jacks to bowl to Tom Clark, who's down the wicket driving out into the offside, into the covers fielded by Abbott. And then a pretty awful throw comes in, actually. It gave Smith no chance of stopping that.
What is going on?
There was someone backing up. It was a shocking throw by Abbott. Nonetheless, it's just a single to Tom Clark. The total goes to 12 without loss.
It's quite interesting with Will Jackson. It's almost like he's going game on, game off bowling, because he didn't bowl against Glamorgan.
Jacks again. Bowls, and Coles pulls onto the leg side, and he's caught, and the first wicket goes down, and that was rather a soft dismissal. Short delivery from Jacks, and Coles looking to pull that one around the corner. Is caught at backwards spell. I think that's Tom Curran in there. Is it Tom Curran?
I think it's Brother Sam.
Is it Brother
catch,
Sam?
I think.
Yes, indeed it was. Yeah, low down, and well, I think James Coles is probably wishing now that he'd just decided to belt it. He decided for placement, and he played it straight into the hands of Curran, who was fielding at backward square leg, and the first wicket goes down in the second over, and young James Coles is on his way and brings Tom Alsop out to the wicket.
Yeah, it was a funny old dismissal, that, wasn't it? It sort of all happened in slow motion. It was a good catch from Sam Curran diving forward, but as I say, it was just tossed up by Will Jacks, and Coles didn't really belt it, didn't try and belt it, just tried to help it round the corner, and then it was Sam Curran to take the catch. Now, Alsop played really well in the game back in South London, and basically got Sussex over the line. If he does that tonight, he'll be about 170 not out, so it'll be a heck of an innings.
He'll be given the freedom of Sussex if he does that. So let's see what happens. Tom Alsop takes guard. And it's going to be Jacks coming in around the wicket to bowl to Tom Alsop. He's in the bowls, and Alsop cuts firmly into the offside, but it's a dot ball fielded in the covers, and there is no run.
The problem is one quiet over, and all of a sudden,
well, the run rate's 13.3 an over required by Sussex. In comes Jack's bowls, and Alsop hammers that one into the offside. He gets a single, but Chris Jordan fielding a bit off, and you can bet your bottom dollar that Chris Jordan is, I mean, he's the consummate professional, isn't he? He'll be saying, come on. There'll be no slacking with Chris Jordan organising things out there. Jacks in again, bowls, short, pulled away by Tom Clark, and this is going to be a boundary. A little too short on Tom Clark. He said, thanks very much, I'll help that one around the corner to backward square leg, and picks up a boundary, does Tom Clark. So he goes to 10, and the Sharks to 17 for 1.
Yeah, it's nicely played by Tom Clark, because he waited and then pulled it behind square all along the floor.
Jacks again, bowls, and Clark drives into the offside and picks up a single into the covers fielded by Abbott. And there is just the single. So end of the over, 18 for 1. I didn't make a note, Churchy, of the score at the end of the opening over. Are you able to
11 it was, yes. So there was 7 off that over and the wicket. So again, that run rate just goes up.
Yes.
Quiet over, run rate goes through the roof.
Yes.
Here is Sam Curran coming into the attack. So a bit of Lady Gaga, I think that is going around the ground at the moment. Yes,
very impressed, Churchy.
Very much indeed. I'm very up with modern tastes.
Right.
Lady Gaga.
Right.
Beyonce.
I wouldn't have known that was Lady Gaga.
Beyonce.
Right.
Who else is there? Edward Sheeran. He's rather good. So it's going to be Sam Curran, and he's going to be coming left arm over the wicket to Tom Clark on 11. Start of the third over. Sam Curran is in, and Clark is swinging and missing, looking to go inside out over extra cover. Beats the edge, and it's taken by Jamie Smith.
I was clearing out, or doing a bit of clearing out in the loft the other day at home, Churchy, and I found a ticket from a police concert I went to.
Very good.
In 1981 in a tent at Tooting Common.
Very good.
And the ticket was £5.
Was it really?
Yeah.
There you are.
Yeah, I thought it was a fortune, Church.
Well, it probably was back then, wasn't it? Yes.
£5. Yeah.
See Sting et al.
Yeah.
And as over the wicket once more comes Sam Curran, and this one's worked into the leg side by Tom Clark, and they'll pick up a couple here as Tom Law sprints round, slides, does the fielding. So Tom Clark moves on to 13. Sussex Sharks move on to 20 for 1. Alsop down at the non-strikers end.
The warm-up act, for some unknown reason, was Tommy Cooper.
Well, there you are. You see that? I wouldn't have expected that.
No,
which I'd have enjoyed seeing Tommy Cooper. As in over the wicket comes Sam Curran. This one's swung leg side by Clark, and that's going to whistle away for 4. Jamie Overton dived to his left at short mid-wicket, but Clark's got quite a bit of that, and that's away for 4. He's on to 17. 24 for 1.
Yeah, nice shot by Tom Clark. I mean, the important thing for Sussex is that they to keep this big crowd entertained, they don't just fall in a heap. Very, very important.
Might be some in the crowd that do, though. Yes, for the night they've had in the corporate hospitality. In over the wicket comes Sam Curran, and Clark shot. Backs away and crunches this off the back foot. He has timed that beautifully. And that has whistled off to the boundary rope for 4. Clark's on to 21. 28 for 1.
Thank you, everybody who got in touch about the... you don't have much time during these games to keep an eye on Twitter. But quite a lot of people got in touch about the 250, didn't they, Church?
Yes, they did.
And said how the game was rained off at Canterbury. Imagine that, rained off when you made 250.
Do you know what? I can't remember any of that at all. As in over the wicket comes Sam Curran, and Clark down the leg side, gets nothing on this. And wide will be the signal from Mark Newell. So that will be 1 more to the total. Isn't it terrible? I really genuinely cannot remember anything about that game of cricket.
No. Well, there was a lot of T20 games.
Well,
probably because it was rained off, you probably think, well, it's a no result then.
But also...
Oh, so is it? So it's a no result. Does it still count? I mean,
that's the thing. Well, I suppose the game got started, so it probably does count in the record books.
Yeah.
As here comes Sam Curran once again, in over the wicket to Tom Clark, and well, he's almost kicked this straight back at Sam Curran, looking for the Yorker. It was a full toss, and he's whipped his bottom hand into it, but missed the ball completely, and he probably had the thud of that on his pad, and it almost came straight back to Sam Curran. So it was almost like he kicked that bad to Sam Curran.
Actually, Sussex are ahead, you know. At the end of the 3rd over, Surrey were 26 for 1.
Yes, absolutely.
So actually, if he gets to Duckworth Lewis, there's a bit of rain now.
I'm not sure there's going to be. There's not a cloud in the sky unless there's a massive cloud arriving soon. As Sam Curran is in. Short one. Clark has hammered this straight out to Tom Laws at deep backward square. It was good work from umpire Burns as well to get out of the way of that, because that was absolutely nailed again by Tom Clark. So 3 gone. And, well, Sussex going along at 10 and over. They're 30 for 1.
Actually, and that shows how extraordinary that innings was, because after 4 overs, Surrey were 35 for 1. After 5, they were 39 for 1.
Mm-hmm. But then they went in that middle over period again, wasn't it?
Yes, and then the ball started to disappear. So anyway, Tom Clark, nice to see him in the run. He's on 22 of just 13 balls. He's going to be facing Will Jacks from the Cromwell Road. In a bowl does Jacks, and Tom Clark helps this one away. Back to the square on the leg side. The ball rolls away down the slope, and Tom Clark picks up another boundary. He goes to 26, and the Sharks do 34 for 1. Nice little riposte here by Tom Clark.
Yeah, looks a good player, Tom Clark.
He goes to 26 of 14 deliveries. Jacks in again, bowls, and he's done it again, and this time he's hit it over square leg for 4 more. Down the wicket, clipping it away. He goes to 30. I've got a little tired of saying, because he's a good player, Tom Clark, this happens quite a lot.
Quick fire,
to 20, and then he'll play a careless shot. I keep on saying in commentary, don't give it away, Tom. You're a good player. He goes to 30. In comes Jacks again. Clark pulls away onto the leg side. He gets a single on this occasion. He goes to 31.
This might play into his hands then, because all the pressure's off him.
Yes,
because he has to keep playing shots, and he has to keep going.
He's a fine player. He's got it all. But, I think by his own admission, he would say he had to get out too often in the 20s and 30s. He's a very elegant player. In comes Jacks to bowl to Tom Allsop. Allsop back down the leg side, and that'll be a wide. So
could be a long night, this. I've got to be in Worcester by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Oh, Church, are you going there from here?
No.
In comes Jacks, bowls, also drives handsomely. Very good bit of fielding by Abbott. Is that Abbott in there?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Short extra. Also might have thought that was going to be a boundary. Jacks wanders back to his mark. 2 men backside the circle on the leg side. In comes Jacks, bowls, and Allsop works this one onto the leg side. It's just going to be a single to Tom Allsop, fielded out there by Laurie Evans. Total goes to 41 for 1 in the 4th over. So Sussex going along at 10.7 and over. They need to go at 13.5. In comes Jacks, bowled. Clark pulls that away onto the leg side. It's just a single again. Didn't quite hit that where he wanted to. Tom Clark, fielded by Evans. It's the end of Jacks is over, and the Sharks are 42 for 1. Clark is on 32. Allsop is on 2. Listening to live cricket on the BBC. BBC Radio Sussex, BBC Radio London, and the man stripping off is Chris Jordan, who knows a lot about playing T20 cricket at this ground at one of his former clubs.
Yes, of course. And we're still ahead of where Surrey were. Surrey were 35 for 1 after 4. So Sussex 42 for 1.
Yes.
And here is Chris Jordan into the attack. Down below us from the C end. And the left-handed Tom Clark will be the man on strike. So Chris Jordan, so much experience now, and he will come round the wicket to the left-handed Tom Clark. Jordan's in and Clark's cutting him straight over backward point for 4. And as I say, this might work for Tom Clark because all the pressure's off him.
Yeah.
He's just got to keep playing his shots. So if he is out now, it's a quick fire 36, but it's what he needed to do.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And so he hasn't got that pressure here, because if he does get out and play a big shot, well, it will be that he needs to play a big shot. So he's flying at the moment, 36 out of 46. Tom Clark waits over his bat once again. Chris Jordan round the wicket to him, goes length, and it's swung by Tom Clark all the way. Oh, brilliant from Jamie Overton. Jamie Overton has somehow hung in the air, caught it, flicked it back and kept it inside the rope, and they'll get 2.
Wow, that was amazing, wasn't it?
That is brilliant from Jamie Overton.
That was a great bit of fielding.
Wow, he's a tall man, but he took the catch in mid-air over the rope and had the peace and presence of mind to flick the ball back, and he saved 4 there. There's Jamie Overton. 48 for 1. Tom Clark is on to 38. He waits once again. As round the wicket goes Chris Jordan, and Clark swings this one into the leg side. We'll get a single out towards deep backward square. It's interesting, isn't it? I was saying this the other night, Mr. Harms, but 2003 this competition started, and the batting's lots of different shots, and the bowling, all the different varieties, but the one thing that's got so much better is the fielding. It's just unbelievable.
Yes.
Now.
Was that first final at Trent Bridge?
It was. Surrey won. That's the only time that Surrey have won.
Yeah, it's incredible.
The T20.
Yeah.
What a day that was.
I was there, you know.
Yes, I was doing commentary on that, believe it or not, as round the wicket comes Chris Jordan, and that's hitting the pads of Paul Sopp as he looks to flick that one into the leg side. Leg by's the signal.
So that would have been Adam Hollyoak?
Yeah, Adam Hollyoak, Ian Ward, Mark Ramprakash, Jimmy Ormond, John Batty, Ricky Clark, Graham Thorpe. Yeah.
Some names there, Churchy, from yesteryear.
Absolutely. And that is the only year that Surrey have ever won the competition. 50 for 1. So the 50 comes up for Sussex in this 5th over.
Oh, that's got a good reply.
Well, they're ticking along as Clark comes back onto strike. Jordan's into him and Clark drives down the ground. This is going to be 4 because it's got down the slope. And on this outfield, it's just going to travel for 4. So Clark's just continuing to enjoy himself. He's on to 43. I think Sussex 54 for 1.
Sorry, Churchy, I think that's his highest T20 score. Perhaps the lads will correct me listening on the stream. His highest score this season was 39. So I think this is Tom Clark's highest T20 score. I'm sure that the lads could just drop me a line and confirm. That'll be great.
Well, it's brilliant stuff at the moment from him. As I say, it might just play into his hands, this. As round the wicket comes Chris Jordan, swinging a miss. It was the slower ball, and Clark's almost taking himself off his feet there, but it's the end of the over. It's another good one for Sussex. 12 off it. And the Sussex Sharks chasing this mountainous target of 259 at the end of 5, a 54 for 1.
And at the same stage, Surrey were 39 for 1. And at the end of the power play, they were 54 for 1. So Sussex already 54 for 1. So if there were any rain clouds in the channel, we could do them coming in fairly shortly.
Well, but Chris Jordan might be concerned.
It's going to be Will Jacks to bowl his 3rd over, coming into bowl to Tom Alsop, who's down the ground, hammers that away, and that's going to be 4 more. Belted away over mid-on by Tom Alsop. And you're right here, Churchy, because Sussex are thinking, well, there's no point fiddling around. Let's entertain the crowd and just sort of see where it takes us, really.
Yep.
And Tom Alsop's doing exactly that. He goes to 6, and the Sharks to 58 for 1.
Well, It's the sort of start they needed.
Jacks in again, bowls. Allsop drives down the ground. He held that one back a little bit, Will Jackson. Allsop didn't quite time the ball to mid-on, and it's just one more to him. He goes to 7.59 for one. Jacks very quickly in, bowls to Tom Clark. And Clark is stumped, and the wicket goes down, and the very good innings of Tom Clark comes to an end. He just drifted that one wide of the off stump. And a very, very smart piece of work behind the stumps by Jamie Smith. He whips off the bails, and a nice little cameo from Tom Clark comes in. That's a shame, actually, because I just felt that maybe this was his night for Tom Clark. He's got Sussex off to a flyer. He's out for 43, but a very smart bit of work behind the stumps.
Yeah, smart bit of bowling, smart bit of work from Jamie Smith. Jack saw him coming, just fired it in wider outside the off stump, and Jamie Smith did the rest. So here is Ravi Bopara. Strolls to the middle as the captain. 59 for 2. They need a big contribution from this man tonight, Sussex, if they're going to get anywhere near, you feel. And Bopara has to do something this evening.
Well, probably, it would be almost miraculous to get anywhere near, but you would have thought one of these two.
Yeah, and I think Bopara, because he's the captain of the side, he's got the most experience. He's a mighty fine player. He's got a full house to play in front of tonight. So they sort of need the captain here to lead from the front, so to speak, don't they?
Yes, they do. Is it me or you?
It's your good self, old boy.
Thank you. You couldn't remember that thing back in... I can't even remember the last ball. That's dreadful, isn't it? In comes Jacks, bowls to Bopara, who cuts this one away without timing to backward point. Fielded at backward point by Cameron Steele. And there is no run. So 2 more balls to go here in the power play. In comes Jackson bowls. Bopara pulls onto the leg side, and he's going to get 4 runs. No, he's not. A good bit of fielding, actually, by Sam Curran down in front of the southwest corner, and a very good throw. I thought it was going to be 4 runs, because often as the ball races down the hill, and Curran was very quickly round to cut off that. 60 for 2 are the Sharks. 1 more ball to go in this power play. It is going to be Jacks to bowl to Tom Allsop. He's in and bowls at short, and Allsop cuts that all the way through. The covers 4 runs. Nice looking shot by Tom Allsop. He got onto his toes, and he clipped the ball away nicely through the covers. So a boundary to finish off the power play. At the end of the power play, the Sharks are 64 for 2 with Allsop on 11, Bopara on 1. At the same stage, and this will give Sussex fans some hope, Surrey were 54 for 1. So Sussex at the moment are ahead, but this is where these middle overs really where the ball started disappearing to all sorts. The problem for Sussex now is that Sunil Narayan is coming into bowl, and he is difficult to get away.
Well, this is the thing. We sort of talk about the Narayan factor, and this is the Narayan factor, because they're going to have to try and get after him, and he's so hard to get after Narayan. And I think that's why I was saying that Bopara's played franchise cricket all around the world, and he's come up against Narayan in playing franchise cricket. And Bopara tonight, I think, in this situation, he sort of has to be the one, because Narayan is so different. Narayan could get through his 4 overs for 20 here in the blink of an eye. Here he is then, Sunil Narayan, and he's forward is Ravi Bopara, plays this one out into the offside. Chris Jordan is up to do the fielding, and there is no run. Over the wicket comes Narayan, and slog sweep from Ravi Bopara, beats the outside edge, but that's the shot. The cross-batted shots are the ones to try and play against Narayan. He wants you, I always say this, he wants you coming down the ground to. That's where he wants you playing. As Narayan is in, oh dear, Ravi Bopara, the slog sweep, it's gone way up into the heavens, and the catch is taken by Jamie Smith, and well, Ravi Bopara, he goes for 1, was trying the slog sweep to Narayan, and it's a top edge, and Jamie Smith takes the catch. That's a big blow for Sussex, and Bopara goes for 1, and Sussex are 64 for 3.
Well, he's just such a good bowler, isn't he? I was watching actually as he runs into bowl Narayan, he sort of hides the ball, doesn't he?
You don't see it until the last. It must be so hard, because he had to change his action. Well publicised. So what he does is he's hardly got any front arm really, and he just walks up with the ball in his right hand hidden behind his back.
Yes.
So you can't really play him off the hand because you're not going to see it till the last possible moment, and his control is ridiculous. So he's a master at this, is Narain, and getting after him is very, very difficult, as we've just seen there with Ravi Bapara, one of the most experienced players, a brilliant player, but he's gone for one. And Shadab Khan, well, again, he's got experience, Shadab Khan. Then he runs from him as well now this evening, as Narain is in turn, and Shadab Khan, right-handed of course, just pushes his first ball out towards cover point, and there's no run.
This could be a maiden.
Yes, well, it could be a wicket maiden to start off with. Narain, oh, he's doing his bootlaces up now.
Yeah.
Yes, Narain. He never does anything in a hurry either, Mr. Narain. As in over the wicket he comes to Shadab Khan. Oh, Shadab Khan is top edging a slog sweep straight over Jamie Smith's head, and he'll get a couple here. Will Shadab Khan? So his first runs are off the top edge as well, straight over the top of the keeper. Just for a second, I thought it was a repeat.
Well, so did I. I was rather relieved to see that it had sort of cleared wicket-keeper Smith.
66 for 3. As Narain is in, and that's hitting the pads of Shadab Khan as he turns this one into the leg side. He got a bit of bat on that as well. So 3 off the first over from Narain, 7 gone. The wicket of Ravi Bapara, and Sussex are 67 for 3.
And at the same stage, after 7 overs, Surrey were 67 for 1. So around the 7 over mark, it's about even Stevens, apart from the fact that Sussex have lost 3 wickets. They're up with the runs, but from now on, this is when it started to get away from Sussex. 12 off the next, 20 off the next, 18 off the next. So these were the middle overs when it all started to go a little wrong. Now we're going to see Cameron Steele, so we're going to see a lot of spin, it looks like.
Yep.
Churchy.
Absolutely. And it's good to see Cameron Steele with the ball in his hands as well.
So Cameron Steele from the Cromwell Road end of the ground to bowl to Shadab Khan, and Shadab hits this one away through the covers for a single, fielded in front of the scoreboard, the clock tower scoreboard, put up there by Sean Abbott. It's 1 more to Shadab Khan. He goes to 4 and the total is 68 for 3.
It is frankly ridiculous with what we're seeing tonight. The day after tomorrow, Championship cricket will start at 11 o'clock.
Yes, yes, I know. In comes Steele on his leg spin to Tom Alsop, who pulls that one away, and that's going to go for 4 runs. Nice shot by Tom Alsop. Pulled away onto the leg side. Tom Alsop goes to 15, and the Sharks to 72 for 3. That's cheered the crowd up. Sussex need to score 14.8 and over.
It's shot up again, hasn't it, with wickets?
Yes. Steele again. And again bowls. Alsop down driving. Too long off. They've taken one. That's all they'll be able to take. They've fielded it way out in the distance. Does that sound current out there? Yes, it is. Tom Alsop goes to 16 off 10 deliveries. 73 for 3 here on BBC Radio Sussex, BBC Radio London. Adrian Harms, Mark Church. Floodlights on at Hove, which looks a picture. And in comes Steele, bowl to Shadab, who works this one away into the offside to the sweeper on the cover boundary, who's the tall figure of Sean Abbott, who gets in the throw on the bounce to Jamie Smith, who goes to 74 for 3. Shadab to 5. At 59 last night at Lord's, by far his best contribution with the bat for the Sharks. Alsop waits. Steele in again, bowls, and Tom Alsop pulls away, and he's going to be authentically caught. He was straight to Sean Abbott, who was on the leg side, but he bounced just in front of Sean Abbott.
I think Tom Alsop thought he was for a second there as well, but thankfully he didn't get hold of it.
No, he didn't.
It bounced a good sort of 10 yards in front of Sean Abbott.
It was straight to him, wasn't it? Alsop goes to 17, 75 for 3, and Khan belts this one down the ground, and that's going to be 4 runs. Hit straight down the ground by Shadab Khan. So he picks up a boundary, he goes to 9. At the end of the 8th over, the Sharks are 79 for 3. At the end of the 8th over, Surrey were 79 for 1. So Sussex keeping up in terms of runs, but as I say, this is where Surrey started to go at sort of hitting 18s and 20s and over.
Yeah, I sort of noted down that the 9th over, that went for 20. And the 16th over, that went for 20. So a couple of those in there. So Tom Laws is into the attack for the first time from the C end of the ground. Tom Alsop will be the man on strike. It's a lovely sight now here at the Hove with the floodlights on and full house in.
Yeah.
Seagulls, good atmosphere. And Tom Laws getting ready to come into Alsop. Just waiting for Tom Curran to get into his fielding position down there at third man. So here is Laws coming right arm over the wicket to the crouching figure of Alsop. He's bowled him first up with a lowish full toss. I think Alsop's got a little inside edge on that, and it's gone cannoning back onto his stump. So that's a nice start for Tom Laws. That's a big wicket again for Surrey. Alsop's been the man in form. He's gone for 17, and Sussex are 79 for 4.
Yeah. And sort of the danger is here for Sussex, and in front of this big crowd, what they won't want to do is sort of subside away here. Who's coming in next?
Thought it'd be Michael Burgess, wouldn't it?
It is Michael Burgess, yes.
So here it comes Michael Burgess.
Who batted very well at the Oval, Churching.
He's a good player, Michael Burgess. He really has turned himself into a fantastic cricketer. Lots of experience, of course, but they need something from him here.
Well, they really do. He's going to join Shadab out in the middle. So Tom Laws, as you say, picks up wicket with his first ball.
Yep.
And the former Cradley schoolboy, who's making quite an impression at the Oval, Churchy. Would that be fair to say?
Oh, yeah, he's a very, very good cricketer. He really is. There's been comparisons with Chris Wokes for Tom Laws. It's not a bad bloke to be compared to. Tom Laws then comes over the wicket to Michael Burgess, and the right-handed Burgess drives his first ball into the turf again. And there is Chris Jordan to do the fielding. But just getting back to a point I was making a bit earlier, the fielding has gone through the roof since the advent of T20. And these fellas are proper athletes, aren't they? They really are. A bit of work from Overton earlier and the catch from Coles last night as Tom Laws is in, and this is driven handsomely by Michael Burgess. Round goes Overton as if to make a case in point. Sprints round, slides, big man, gets up, gets the throw in. There's obviously on the outfield, it's sort of a sand-based outfield because every time the ball bounces on it, you see a puff of sand.
Yes.
And just saw Overton there, bit of sand coming up as he slid. 81 for 4. Tom Laws is over the wicket to Burgess, and Burgess drives inside out, one bounce out towards Overton, who hurls the ball into Jamie Smith. Burgess moves on to 3. Shadab Khan comes back onto strike on 9. Laurie Evans will continue his conversation with the corporate hospitality box. If it's the man with the rugby ball, he likes his rugby, Laurie Evans, so he'll be able to discuss that with the gentleman with his rugby ball. He's not shy of a chat as in over the wicket comes Laws. Slower ball. Oh dear, that's a horrible dismissal from Shadab Khan, and Laws will be delighted with that because he's bowled a wide slower ball. Shadab Khan has fallen over trying to reach it and has just plopped it straight up in the air into the hands of Will Jacks. That is one of the strangest bits of cricket you will ever wish to see. It's great from a Tom Laws point of view. It's not the best from a Shadab point of view, but he has to go because he's basically ended up lying on the floor there and watching it loop to Will Jack. So he's gone for 9 and it's 82 for 5, and someone has just thrown their phone to Laurie Evans and asked him to take a selfie of himself on the outfield, which unsurprisingly Laurie Evans is very happy to do. So yes, strange old dismissal that from Shadab Khan, but as I say, if you watch the highlights of that, he'll bet he basically fell over.
Yes, he did, and
plonked the ball straight to Will Jacks. It's a clever bit of disguise from Tom Laws, but if he'd let it go it would have been a wide, I think. So there we go, Ibrahim is out there in the middle, so 2 in the over for Tom Laws, and that mountain's got even higher now, 82 for 5. And Tom Laws with the last ball of this, the 9th over, He's into Ibrahim and he's digging him out to backward point, and there's no run. Well, that's a very good first over for Tom Laws. 2 wickets and just 3 off it, and all of a sudden with 9 gone, Sussex are 82 for 5. To give you an idea of where they are, they still need another 177 to win.
Yes, they need to score at 16.1 over, and I think we can say that that's extremely unlikely. Now, what Sussex would be hoping for here would be that they could, to overhaul that target was probably, it'd have to be almost miraculous, really. But to get somewhere near and keep the crowd entertained. I can see 1 or 2 are drifting away. In comes, is that
Cameron Steele
again, and Michael Burgess plays that through the offside, picks up a single to Sean Abbott.
It's so difficult though. See, the thing is, when you're chasing a massive total like that, everything's got to go your way.
Yes.
And you've just really got to, and they were going fine. But they have to keep going like that, and then you lose wickets.
Steer in, bowls, driven away by Ibrahim on the leg side, picks up a single to Daniel Ibrahim. But with this, total goes to 84. With this Surrey batting lineup, I mean, they did it, obviously done it at Glamorgan the other night. They've done it here with they are so powerful. It can happen. In comes Steele bowl, switch it by Michael Burgess, nice shot, 4 runs. Nicely played, and a nice round of applause around Hove, and much waving of the 4s, the cards, the red cards with the white numbers on. Nice shot by Burgess. He goes to 8. And Sussex to 80. Is it 88 for 5, Church?
Yes, it is. Yeah, 88 for 5.
Steele again, his fingers. Comes in from the Cromwell Road in bowls to Burgess. He's done it again, and that's going to be 4 more. 2 reverse sweeps by Michael Burgess. 2 nice shots. He goes to 12. 92 for 5. And Jamie Smith chatting away to Michael Burgess. Probably says something like, good shot. Do you reckon?
Yeah, those 2 will know each other, so yeah, I think so. Well, try it a 3rd time, Michael.
Steele in bowls, and this time he's bowled.
It's a great
Michael Burgess is gone. He's furious with himself.
That's a great bit of bowling. It's bowled in the googly there. And Burgess was going to go and run that down to 3rd man, also just spun back between bat and pad. So, yeah. The irony being, had he tried a 3rd switch hit, it was probably the right delivery in the fact it was spinning back into him, but there we go. So Michael Burgess has gone now, and it's 92 for 6. So in danger here of it all finishing fairly rapidly. But what do you do if you're Sussex? You've just got to keep going for it. That's the thing here. So there is a danger here of this finishing early in the fact that they've got to keep going.
Yeah, and the shame of it is, there's a big crowd here as well, and the crowd. I mean, they've seen some wonderful batting by Surrey, but they'd want to see a gutsy Sussex reply. And at the moment,
but I think what we're beginning to see with this Surrey team is they've worked out how they want to play it now, and you're seeing the variety they've got in the attack as well as that clinical batting that we saw today.
Yeah, in comes Steele bowls to Hudson Prentice, plays out into the offside, and there is no run. So that's the end of the over from Cameron Steele, an over that cost 10 runs, but he picked up the wicket as well, the wicket of Michael Burgess. So the end of the 10th over, and the Sharks are 92 for 6. Comparisons are becoming slightly irrelevant, but as we made a note of it, we'll tell you anyway. Surrey were 107 for 1 at the same stage.
So Tom Laws with 2 wickets in his first over will continue unsurprisingly. It's the C end of the ground. And Ibrahim will be the man on strike on 1. Tom Laws over the wicket to Ibrahim, and Ibrahim swinging into the leg side, doesn't time this at all, comes off the toe end of his bat and just potters back to Laws, who bends down, picks up. If anyone else is going to throw their phone to Laurie Evans to take a selfie of himself, would it not have been quicker just to take a photo of him? Am I being old-fashioned there, rather than you throwing your phone to him
No.
and asking him to take a
In fact-
photo? Does that not defeat the point of having a camera? Anyway,
I think it does, actually.
as in over the wicket comes Tom Laws, shot from Ibrahim. Just picks this up, swings it straight down the ground, and that has gone one bounce for 4. That's a lovely swing of the bat from Ibrahim.
It was. In fact, it's the second night in a row, Church, that someone's thrown a mobile phone on the field. Because at Lord's last night, where we were walking around the outfield to go home, and someone was in one of the corporate hospitality boxes, and my colleague Johnny went onto the outfield. He saw a mobile phone, and someone in the corporate hospitality was waving. Said, "Could you pick my phone up for me?" So one of his friends had thrown his phone out the corporate hospitality box onto the outfield at Lord's.
Hilarious japes from the corporate hospitality there.
You know,
1 or 2 glasses of champagne and a vol au vent, and that seems like a hilarious game.
Yeah. I don't think he was too impressed with his friend, to be honest.
Let's see.
Johnny retrieved it and did the good thing.
As in over the wicket once again comes Laws, and this one's slammed down the ground by Ibrahim, and they've got a long off now, so that'll just be the single.
It's quite interesting, Churchy, because Tom Laws got hit for that and immediately Chris Jordan, we said he is the consummate professional, isn't he? I mean, he knows Surrey have won this game, but he's probably taking this as a learning experience for Tom Laws. He's saying, well, where do you want your field? I think that's good.
Oh, absolutely. Tom Laws having Chris Jordan, Sam Curran near him. It's not a bad couple. This one swung high in the air. Laurie Evans won't get to that. That goes over Laurie Evans for 6. So picked up and struck by Hudson Prentice, and Laurie Evans hung in the air. I tell you what, it would have been a great photo had he still had that gentleman's phone in his hand for his selfie, because it would have been a mid-air selfie there.
Yes, it would.
From Laurie Evans. But that was well struck by Hudson Prentice.
And he's quite tall, Laurie Evans, isn't he?
He is very tall.
He's sharing a joke, isn't he, with the guys on the boundary edge.
As Laws is into Hudson Prentice, slower ball outside the off stump, wide's the signal from umpire Neil. So that 6 brought up the 100 for Sussex. It's 104 for 6. Sean Abbott's nattering away to a few people in the corporate boxes, no doubt asking him about the Ashes and who he thinks is going to win and how Australia are getting on in the Test Championship final, and he'd have been like, well, I'd like to be there playing. In over the wicket comes Tom Laws, and this is driven straight back at Laws, who gets hands to it, and that ricochets away and towards long off. Tom Curran then was practicing his golf swing as Laws was about to let go of that. 105 for 6.
Laurie Evans is a very good golfer, isn't he?
He is, yes, he is. He's a very naturally gifted sportsman. He is Laurie Evans. But again, another 93 runs today. 105 for 6. As Laws is in, and this is swung by Ibrahim. Down the ground, one bounce to Laurie Evans, and they'll just get the single. So that's the end of the 11th over now. And Sussex are 106 for 6. Just a reminder, their target is the small matter of 259. So, yeah.
I think I'm right in saying that when Laurie Evans came to Sussex from Warwickshire, he'd driven down here, and I think he'd filled up with fuel or something, and someone had driven off in his car.
Oh dear.
I remember that. And he came on the radio and said, well, it was a pretty awful first experience. I don't know whether Laurie ever got his car back. I think a old kit and everything in it.
Oh, yes, I do remember that. That was over the Christmas period, I think.
I think it might have been. In comes Steele, bowls to Ibrahim, gets a big bottom edge, the ball runs to short fine leg, one more to Daniel Ibrahim. He goes to 807 for 6 here on BBC Radio Sussex, BBC Radio London, Mark Church and Adrian Harms on a lovely evening on the south coast, but Surrey with that enormous total, and Sussex just batting for pride here, really. Hudson Prentice turns that one to short fine leg. The throw comes in from, is that Tom Curran?
It is indeed.
Gets in the throw because he was just dawdling a little with Finn Hudson Prentice, and it's the professionalism of Surrey here. They know they've won this game, but when you've got the skipper Jordan standing in extra cover, there's no sort of fiddling around here. This isn't going to be sort of, oh, well, it doesn't matter anymore. He's demanding of his players. Steal in, bowls wide, cut away by Ibrahim, only as far as Sean Abbott, who comes in from sweeping on the cover boundary, gets in the throw. 109 for 6. Ibrahim to 9.
See, the problem that Sussex also have is that Narayan's still got 3 overs. Jordan's still got 3 overs.
Yeah. Steering bowls, reverse sweep from Finn Hudson-Prentice. Abbott is quickly around the boundary, has a good sliding stop, prevents anything more. Throw comes in, well taken as well by Smith. And throw came in from Abbott, and Smith was sort of leaping goalkeeper style. Managed to stop the ball, didn't take it cleanly, but he prevented any overthrows. Hudson-Prentice goes into double figures, he's on 10, 111 for 6. Steele in again bowls, and Hudson-Prentice down the ground driving firmly down to long on. They've taken 1, and that's all they'll take. Fielded out on the boundary by Sam Curran. Hudson-Prentice to 11, 112 for 6.
Is that middle column in the bowling figures? Sam Curran 3 overs left, Chris Jordan 3 overs left, Sunil Narayan 3 overs left.
Yes. Is this the 8th bowler that they've used, or the 7th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7th. In comes Steele bowls to even look to swing that way on the leg side. It's given as a wide.
Abbott 3 overs left.
I mean, Sussex have got to score here just for the record. They need to score at 17.9 and over, which I don't think is going to happen. But Sussex playing for a bit of pride here. In comes Steele, bowls and clubbed down the ground by Daniel Ibrahim. They've taken 1, they'll think about 2, but there's never a second run there. It is the end of Steele's over. I didn't make a note of the score, which is very amiss of me, at the end of the 11th over, so I shall do that in a moment. But at the end of the 12th over, Sussex are 114 for 6. There's a lovely sunset away to the west of the ground. The seagulls are swooping around. It's a delightful evening. Just a shame that Sussex haven't. I'm not going to get too near this total. What weird 11?
8 off that over, because 11th was 106.
Ah, thank you.
So there we go. So 8 off. Now here is Narayan coming back into to bowl the 13th, and sweeping down to short fine. The quick single's taken, and it's really, really good running from Hudson-Prentice. It's sprinting through. So Ibrahim picks up the single, but yeah, sort of going after Sunil Narayan. And you never know, Jordan might bring himself back, or Sam Curran back, or Sean Abbott back at the other end. As Narayan comes in over the wicket to Hudson-Prentice. This is why it's so difficult. He's looked to go cross-batted, he's got a top edge, and Narayan takes the catch off his own bowling, and that is why Narayan is so hard to get away. And Hudson-Prentice goes for 11, and the Sussex Sharks are at 115 for 7, but that's the thing. I think it's getting around the traps that sort of the cross-batted sweeps are the way to go against Narayan, but he's such a good bowler that he's got that control that if you go on that shot, he can just hold it back. And that's exactly what's happened there. So out comes McAndrew. He can hit a long ball.
He can.
115 for 7.
He hit 4 sixes here last Sunday against Glamorgan in a losing cause, and I don't think hang around here, Nathan McAndrew. I guess the other thing as well, from a Surrey perspective, they've done their run rate no harm at all here as well, because it's always such a tight group. Somerset are going well, Hampshire are going well, Surrey are going well, Essex are going okay. Who else is in the mix in the group?
I was looking at it.
I mean, Glamorgan were until Surrey beat them. But
Somerset lost their first game the other night, didn't they?
Yes.
So they're on 12 points. Surrey on 10 points. Hampshire on 10 points. Glamorgan on 8. Essex on 8. Sort of at the top. And Surrey go to Somerset this time next week. So, McAndrew, his first delivery, he's driving. Oh, and it's just in front of Chris Jordan at extra cover. He'll dive forward. If anyone's going to catch that, it's probably Chris Jordan.
Yeah. I've seen him take some great catches. You'd have seen in your time as well, but some wonderful catches, Chris Jordan, especially in the slips.
And then over the wicket comes Narayan. Oh, swing and a miss from Nathan McAndrew. And that's past the outside edge. It's Tony Cotton, I can't remember who it was he said, but he said that a very famous player said that Chris Jordan and Viv Richards, the 2 best pairs of hands he's ever seen in the outfielders. McAndrew here looking to slog sweep, and that just hits the pad and rolls straight back up the pitch. Yeah, there's no run.
I mean, I just meant, the times I've watched Chris Jordan here in the Championship, the ball gets nicked a second slip and it's just out.
But that's the thing, you can put him anywhere in the field, and he's brilliant. In comes Narine, and McAndrew's just pushing this one out too. Chris Jordan on the edge of the circle. He'll just be happy to let the single happen. But what a tidy old over that was from Sunil Narine.
Just 2 off of it, Churchy.
And a wicket, and 13 gone. Sussex on 116 for 7. So 7 overs left, just to give you an idea. 7 overs left, and Sussex need 143 to win. So we're up to 20 and over from here.
Yes, which is not going to happen. Yeah, I mean, I think, Chris Jordan in the slips, Mike Yardy was the other one here who, when the ball in the slips, it goes towards Yardy, it's out. Yeah. But Chris Jordan, a wonderful, wonderful fielder. So Nathan McAndrew is on strike. It's going to be Cameron Steele. He's going to come in to bowl his final over, I think. Comes in and bowls and dipped onto the onside by McAndrew. 3 overs, 1 for 30. Cameron Steele before this over. Sorry.
Apologies. Somerset beaten Gloucestershire tonight.
Right. Yes, they're rather slipping out of contention. I think Gloucestershire, aren't they? I mean, you think the top 4 at the minute, you're looking, Surrey, Hampshire, Somerset, and someone else is going to force their way in, maybe an Essex or a Glamorgan. That's where it's going to go. I still believe, Churchy, I think we had this discussion at the Oval. In comes Steele and bowls and thumped down the ground by Ibrahim. Is that going to go for 4? No, it's not. Fielded down there by Curran, who picks up one-handed, gets in the throw. A couple of runs to Daniel Ibrahim, who goes to 13, 119 for 7. Beautiful coloured sky, Churchy.
Red sky at night, shepherd's delight.
Indeed, yeah. Very true. Going to be a lovely day tomorrow.
Thank you.
In comes Steele and clubbed away by Ibrahim, who picks up a boundary down to 3rd man. He goes to 17, the total to 123 for 7. Yes, I mean, I'm a big believer, Churchy. I think that there should be a form, if you win a group, I think there should be an automatic into finals day, personally.
Well, I'm doing the Charlotte Edwards Cup finals day tomorrow, and that's what happens there, isn't it?
Well, it should be. I just don't understand why. If you win the group for a country, then you have to go into a quarter final against the side who come 4th, and you can lose that game. Ibrahim hammers that one away onto the leg side, and he's caught by Tom Curran, who made a fairly difficult catch look relatively easy. It was pulled around to the leg side by Daniel Ibrahim, and Sam Curran was running around the boundary. He caught it on the run. Lovely catch by Curran, and another wicket goes down. 123 for 8 are Sussex. Daniel Ibrahim is gone for 17. Yeah, and the game rather limping towards the conclusion.
He did make that look very straightforward, Sam Curran. But I said this for Glamorgan on 2 nights ago. Sussex have just come across Surrey playing some very good T20 cricket now. They've got their plan, they've worked it out, they know how they're going to bat. I think they were a bit too gung-ho at the start of the comp. Perhaps their bowling's always been, they've got so much variety in the attack, but they've got the batting right now as well, and they've been pretty clinical tonight, haven't they?
Yeah, so in terms of overseas, presumably they've got Abbott and Narine for the whole competition?
Yes, yeah, they have indeed.
Yeah, which is very important. And they're probably not going to lose Curran to the Ashes.
No, I wouldn't have thought so at the moment.
You never know.
You never ever know.
Well, it's extraordinary that a cricketer that talented is...
You just don't know, do you? If there's an injury, you just don't know. Now, Mills is in, and he's reverse sweeping Jamal Mills. First ball for 4. A nice start from Jamal Mills.
It's a nice start by Jamal.
Yeah, reverse sweep off his stumps and away for 4 runs. Someone was asking me about Ben Foakes, and I was saying, it only takes a broken finger somewhere in that first test, and all of a sudden Ben Foakes is back in. So,
well, I'm not just because I'm sitting with you, but I think you play your best wicketkeeper. Is my personal view. But anyway, that's a story for another day, perhaps.
Here goes Mills, and he's stumped. So he's danced down the pitch. He's had a massive yahoo at that one to Mal Mills, and Jamie Smith probably could have gone and got a cup of tea and then come back and stumped to Mal Mills there. So just 1 wicket required after 14 overs. Sussex are 127 for 9, and this is going to be another huge victory for Surrey. This will be another complete performance. This is almost a complete performance again from Surrey tonight. It really is.
I think the shame from a Sussex point of view, I mean, every credit to Surrey, they've been brilliant, haven't they? They've smashed the ball out of the park. That was great. I think the shame for a really big crowd, and where Sussex will be disappointed, is they haven't made a bit of a fist of things, because there's a lot of people who here. This might be their only game of the season they come and watch, and they're watching Sussex sort of subside, really.
Yeah, it's so difficult though. You've got
it's very difficult.
Massive total.
Very difficult.
And I think it's worth remembering that Sussex won the toss and put Surrey in.
Yeah, they did.
So it was the Sussex decision to ask Surrey to bat. So here is Narine, just one wicket needed, and this is swung straight down the ground by McAndrew. One bounce for 4. So McAndrew picks up his first boundary. He moves on to 6. 131 for 9. But yeah, I think a few people decided to try and beat traffic and get trains now. But that's given the crowd something to cheer about. Nobody's left the corporate boxes, I noticed, so unsurprisingly.
No. Well, there's still, 5.5 overs, is that right? Nearly 6 overs?
Yeah, there is. Here is Narine, and this is swung by McAndrew out towards deep backward square. There might be some that are incapable of leaving the corporate boxes. 132 for 9. McAndrew 7. And on to strike comes Crocombe for the first time. So still another 127 to win, and I hate to say this, but Duckworth Lewis at the moment is 246.
Yes,
that sort of shows where this game is at the moment.
Yes, and Sussex need sort of 22 and over, which is, as we've said, for some considerable while, probably since the Surrey innings finished. It's not going to happen.
As Crocombe drives out to Will Jacks, who's lost that after fielding it, and they'll get a single. So Crocombe's off the mark, just giving Somerset the 2 points there. They're now up on 214, and this win for Surrey will keep them 2 points behind on 12.
Yes,
so that's what this.
Hampshire playing tonight?
I think they are. Let me just have a quick check. As that's very wide from Narine. That is signalled wide, in fact. So, that was the catchphrase buzzer there. I like that. That was the old catchphrase buzzer. Say what you see. As here comes Narine. And swinging into the leg side is McAndrew, but it actually hits him high up on that front pad and rolls away out towards extra cover. And there is no run. Glamorgan have lost to Essex by 31 runs tonight.
So Essex are on a little roll, aren't they?
And Hampshire have lost to the Kent Spitfires. As here we go. This will be the end of the game, because this has gone straight up in the air. Chris Jordan, the safest pair of hands. McAndrew is caught off Narine. He will go for 7, and that means Sussex are all out for 134 in the 15th over, and that is a huge win for Surrey. If my maths is correct, which is always an absolute disaster at this point, that is a win for Surrey by 124 runs. So that is a massive win for Surrey tonight. And Sussex all out for 134. McAndrew the last to go for 7. And we're only in the 15th over, Adrian Hart.
Yeah. Well, I think several things to say. The first thing to say is Paul Farbrace has made no secret of where Sussex are in terms of T20 cricket. They've had a couple of wins. They won at the Oval, strangely enough. They beat Middlesex last night. But Paul Farbrace has said that Sussex have a lot of work to do on their T20 side. And, if you're taking players of the calibre of Wright, Evans, Rawlins, Jordan, Archer out of a side, Visa, the side are not good enough to compete with a side like Surrey in form like this. But, Surrey were magnificent tonight. I think the big disappointment is that perhaps Sussex didn't make a better fist of it. I don't think you could expect them to chase down 258. But if they'd have got to a couple of hundred and a few more sixes, that would have been fabulous. But they didn't. So that's disappointing for a really big crowd as well, many of whom this might be their only visit here this season. But nonetheless, Surrey utterly ruthless.
Yeah, and I think what you've got to say is Surrey have put 2 performances there against Glamorgan and Sussex, which have been, clinical, really.
Yeah.
Batting-wise, they've been very controlled in how they've gone about it and with the ball. There's so much variety in the attack. Off the top of my head there, Sam Curran, Sean Abbott and Chris Jordan, between them, have only bowled 3 overs. They only bowled an over each.
Yes, they did.
So that just shows the variety of attack that Surrey have. But